Hello again everybody, and a very warm welcome back. Today, a bit of a special day. It's been a long time in development, lots of anticipation, lots of excitement surrounding this, and it is the new JustFlight F28 Professional for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Due for release, expected on Wednesday next week, so not too long left to wait now, and lots of different liveries and 4 variants to choose from with the aircraft. Today we're on this really nice NLM Cityhopper Fokker F28 4000 variant for a flight to Belfast Aldergrove. Block time of about 2 hours, but we're going to spend maybe up to an hour approximately on the ground working through all the systems from cold and dark and seeing what this new aircraft has to offer, and it looks remarkably nice, doesn't it? Hopefully those of you with enough streaming speed will be able to run the stream in 2K 60 frames per second. We've got 8K cockpit textures and all the rest of it as well to dive into. Proper old school flying today. And a Dutch made aircraft, regional aeroplane, which then later became the Fokker F28 and the F100, and additionally they are also products that are currently in development from JustFlight. Lots of you guys tuning in all around the world. Welcome if you are perhaps tuning in for the first time. Sathira, welcome. Timeo, David, hello guys. Joep on Schiphol Tower. MPS Gaming, Carlito, Badger, Gav, good evening to you. And Dan, welcome. Mikhail. The commentator, Sam. Welcome folks. I've just said when it's due to be approximately released, Scotty Beast, Wednesday coming. So about 5 days away. No, never guaranteed, of course. Bacon Sani, hello. Yeah, we're going to be on the ground for a little while. Joep, got to get more coffee and street waffle. Joep's connected, by the way, folks, onto Amsterdam Tower for us, or Schiphol Tower. And we've got Amsterdam Approach online as well. We've got a few things to kind of test out as well today. We've got a test version of a GSX profile that JustFlight are working on. It may or may not have quirks and issues with it, but we're going to give it a go anyway. And we've got some of the special features like that cabin PA system, where I've then loaded in my own custom playlist, which is epic, really, really cool. So I can't wait to show you guys that. Keeping with the theme of old school flying, we're going to be heading out of Amsterdam and flying a number of VORs today, all the way up to Belfast. We've got the lovely Pyre Devco Belfast Aldergrove scenery. Look at that. It's got, bear in mind it's a small aeroplane, it's got some wonderful presence, hasn't it? Don't forget to hit like throughout today. We've got the custom GPU fired up, and hit subscribe as well. A couple of things actually. So this is the 4000 variant. We've got, based on the variant you choose, the 1000, 2000, 3000 and 4000, JustFlight have modelled them accordingly with the cabin layout. Really nice cabin, by the way, and also the emergency exits. The Rolls-Royce Spey engines, they've got fixed blades on the outside, and then if we look inside, there's more blades inside the aeroplane's engines as well, so we won't really see anything spinning when we do get the engines on. Cargo holds, complete with nets, and really nice texturing there. You can see the rivets. Scott Beast says, as a Dutch person, I approve of this aircraft being added to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, lots of people looking forward to this. Big thank you to JustFlight, of course. They sent it over today for the purpose of a preview, review and first look video. Thought we'd dive straight into a live stream and harness our fairly average abilities at the BA 146 to try and learn this aeroplane, but we'll see how we go. Should we dive in and have a little look? Here's the flight deck. 8K textures, looking really, really nice. So you get the option of 4K textures and 8K textures, depending on what system you have. You might find that the 4K ones work a little bit better, a little bit smoother for you, but we're running the 8K today anyway. Really, really cool. The windows on the side, actually, bearing in mind it's a lovely day today with live weather, it allows a lot of light into the flight deck environment, and it's really, really nice. A couple of cool things in the flight deck. We can move the chairs back and forward using the sliding lever. The co-pilot's one does the same, and we've got a whole load of Skittles all over the centre pedestal. They're not Skittles, of course, they are buttons for the various things like PA, radios, and all the rest of it. Hydraulic levers down here. We've got the landing gear gravity extension lever there, the gust lock on the left. I won't touch that today. I've got a habit of breaking JustFlight airplanes, so I try not to. No stroopwafel stains on here, unfortunately. Rumour had it that when the aeroplane was being test flown, the Dutch pilots would navigate primarily with the stroopwafel, and the shadow of the sun would give them the direction on the compass. I jest, of course. That would never be allowed. But I like the idea of it. Right, what else have we got? Alternate braking system, the big old juicy red handles there. And we've got the big old steering wheel there for the nose wheel steering system. JustFlight tablet that we're used to. We can load in our OFP, so that allows us to view our route, wing components and all that sort of stuff. We can see our metals in here as well. And then similar to the 146 Professional, on the aircraft tab, when you load your OFP in from SimBrief, it'll give you a prompt here to say, would you like to load the aircraft accordingly. So we've already done that, and we've loaded in the fuel that we require for today. We don't have a SimBrief profile for the F28 just yet. JustFlight are working on one. So I'm using an F70 profile instead, and I'm just kind of loading in a little bit of extra fuel just in case, because we never know. Whilst we're here, a little settings tab gives us the options, so we can configure again based upon the type of experience that we want. We can turn GPS navigation off, for example. We can also disable the interior cabin and disable the cockpit pilots. So I'll get rid of the pilots for now, and we'll leave all the rest of it on like so. Because I'm going to be steering with my rudder axis, we're going to keep that ticked. Navigraph chart integration as well, happy days. We can add in here, what we got? We're at EHAM today, aren't we? So we'll hit enter. Doing a non-standard departure today, folks. It's not an RNAV capable aircraft, but we could, in theory, use the GPS and add the procedures in there. That's pretty cool. This is going to be the first complete full flight that I've done with the aeroplane. No idea what to expect. Lots for me to sort of focus on, get involved with, and learn as we go. And I'll be curious to hear your thoughts as well. What do we got here? So, let's look at the flight deck. And in fact, let's look at the cabin. Here's that PA system that we spoke about earlier on. Let's call the passengers. They're going to be on board for a long time, but let's just see what the profile does here. NLM, of course, is like the early version of KLM, or like KLM Cityhopper, if you like. And this is one of the old routes that they used to do. So our call sign today is going to be City 415. So, when you get the aeroplane, looking at the PA panel here, when you get the aeroplane installed, you can, if you wish, install your own custom.wav file. There's instructions, tells you how to do it inside the massive manual that's over 200 and something pages long that's included with the add-on, giving you lots of in-depth information about everything, all the buttons, all the switches, all the sounds, and the PA system here. So you can either leave it with the one track that's included, or, like I've done, you can create your own. So I've put 4 tracks into a .wav. We can turn the music reproduction volume up. Of course, we need power to the aeroplane first before we switch it on. So the aircraft tab, you would have noticed a moment ago, we had ground power enabled. So what we're going to do, I'll pop the battery on, and then we'll turn the external power on. clicking in the background. There's a lot of aircraft noise as well, to be fair. But you can see the aircraft systems begin to come alive.
Passengers boarding starting.
And we'll put the windshield heating on. Bleed air's on automatic. That's all fine as it is at the moment. We won't turn the APU on yet because it's going to start drinking the fuel. And the SS bus. Steward calls there. Air conditioning's on automatic. I'm going to leave that on off for now though. Seatbelt signs and emergency lights are armed. So we've got all the folks coming on board. Look at that. Working pretty well actually, isn't it? I'm enjoying that. That's pretty cool. Great work. Sean saying JustFlight have hit it out the park regarding the sounds for the Fokker 28. Great dev videos showing how it was done. JustFlight are brilliant. Yeah, the sounds for this, guys, are stunning. Absolutely stunning. Throughout the whole journey, hopefully you're going to enjoy it. Releasing Wednesday expected, so 5 days from now. That looks pretty good. So while they're coming on, let's welcome them on board with my custom sound pack, my music. So start bopping. We've turned the music up. We've actually turned it down as well, so that it replicates it coming out of the cabin speakers a little bit. So we're going to just turn it on. Here's the cabin. Obviously GSX doesn't allow us to see it. Crazy. Who dresses these people? Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn off VATSIM for a moment so we get rid of that ruddy aeroplane noise so we can hear the beats. There we go. So this is the cabin beats. Now hopefully you can just hear it in the background. And here's this wonderful cabin. In fact, let's turn. Where is it? Down here, isn't it? Cabin lights. Turn the cabin lights on while we start bopping. Can you guys hear the music? Hopefully you can. There's the cabin lights. So this is the largest variant of the F28. Looking really cool. Wonderful cabin. Got a load of custom views set up for today as well. There's our emergency exit rows. Patrick, welcome buddy, thanks for joining us. Bronze frequent flyer. Little glimpse of these Rolls-Royce Spey engines here, look at that. Oh. Even what they've done here with the cabin is incredibly nice. I mean, dare I say, I think it is probably the most comprehensive cabin that we've got for any aeroplane in Microsoft Flight Simulator at the moment. It's really nice. Even the tray tables and the textures on the tray tables, look at that. Got all this, really nice. And we'll head back to that PA system. So that music that we can hopefully hear, hopefully you guys can all hear in the background, is playing via the aircraft's PA. Quietly in the background, and hopefully that will just keep looping until we turn it off. Right, shall we think about our flight for today then? Cruising today at flight level 280. Where are we? Let's look at the manual, I think. In fact, let's brief the journey. So, here we go. Non-standard departure today. Runway 18 left for a 6 knot crosswind, sorry, 7 knot crosswind, but a 6 knot headwind to assist us. And we're going to go non-standard. So 18 left, heading out, flying south. And we're then going to climb to about 3,000 feet, turning initially eastbound. And then heading north, all the way up to Sierra Papa Yankee, before we intercept that VOR and head outbound 252 degrees over the English Channel to the Clacton VOR. It does have VNAV. I've loaded it. Well, it does have sorry, a GPS unit, which I have loaded in via the MSFS world menu. So we will revert to that throughout the flight a little bit, just to sort of show you guys how that works as well. It will come on in a little while, where that weather radar is in the centre pedestal. From Clacton, 11455, we're going to head out 263 degrees to Brookman's Park, heading north of London Heathrow Airport, and then from Brookman's Park, heading up to the Daventry VOR, 305 degrees, and then up to Honolulu, passing Coventry Airport, and then flying overhead Birmingham at flight level 280, up to Liverpool, heading out over towards the Isle of Man from the Wallasey VOR, leaving Wallasey at 307 degrees, across to the Isle of Man, and then leaving the Isle of Man again 307 degrees before heading over to Northern Ireland for a journey into Belfast Aldergrove. And I'm not sure, runway 17 is shown there actually, but I need to have a little look at the various kind of runways and things, because I know this sometimes recommends 17. Look, there it is, but it's the tiny one. So it'll be either 25 or 07. Oof. Choppy weather. 12 knot crosswind, 5 knot headwind. My goodness. Runway 25 it is. Why do I do this to myself? Oh, grief. Right. There's no stars into here, but we can see from the Isle of Man, this is the little bit that we are going to do, 112.2, Isle of Man, 307 degrees, and then directly towards that Belfast VOR. So we're going to pin that. Belfast is on 117.2. So I'm going to tune that in. I'm going to pop that into my notepad here, because we are doing a little bit more old school flying. And then we're going to look for the ILS runway 25 approach. There it is. So category C aircraft over the Belfast VOR, heading out 053 degrees up to 9.4 DME, and then turning back on ourselves for the procedural turn to 247 inbound course for the ILS approach in a couple of hours from now. Lots to kind of think about and lots to do, but if we look at some of the documents that they provided, this is kind of the key features preview documents. They talk about a lot of stuff that we can kind of discuss during the flight during previews, but their manual is 253 pages long, complete with really nice checklists, which we are going to try and follow today. What page is that actually? 220. 220 for the checklists. I'll write that down. I will lose it. But this will cover everything you need to know to learn the aeroplane. It details the liveries included. So for the Mark 1000 Fokker F28, we've got Air France, Air Ontario, Argentine Air Force, Canadian Regional. There's the Fokker Demonstrator, Horizon Air, LTU, Martin Air, Time Air, and then for the 2000 variant, Air France TAT, British Airways TAT, Ghana, Nigeria Airways, TAT European, TAT Yellow. Look at that. What a retro design that is. Ansett Australia Airlines for the 3000 variant. Ansett Express. Garuda, which was a huge operator for the Fokker F28 3000 variants. Saudia, and then on to the 4000, the one that we're using today. Air France, Air Anglia, Air Norwegian, Air UK, Empire, Korean Air, NLM Cityhopper, the one that we're using today. Beautiful livery. Piedmont, Sabina, Scandinavian, US Air, and there we go. That's all of them that are included. Really, really cool. So it will allow you to do lots of retro ops, by the looks of it, all over the world. Huge bit of information about the systems overview on the aeroplane. Electrically powered from 2 engine driven generators, that's the wrong button, taking half the total load each. An APU houses an additional generator to supplement the system. Talks about independent hydraulic systems by 2 engine driven pumps. Tricycle landing gear, short and sturdy, lovely. Allowing for operations from remote dirt airstrips, and is hydraulically operated by the pressure of the utility system. So imagine that, picking some dirt strips maybe across Africa or something, and then flying in with this. Great fun. Lift dampers. So very similar to kind of the BA146. It doesn't really have a reverse thrust. Instead you have lift dampers. So when we touch down, we're going to extend the spoilers and then the lift dampers as well. And then we'll be reducing our speed with brakes. This is a test version today, by the way, guys, or like a pre-release version of it. So there are going to be a few minor tweaks here and there for things like the flight director systems. Master radio switches, autopilot controller down here with the yaw damper switch and the autopilot master. Pitch and roll channel switches activate the respective pitch and roll autopilot channels. And that's if we're in pitch and roll modes for the mode selector on the autopilot. And we've got altitude pre-selectors and all the rest of it as well. Pilot's cutout button on the top outboard vertical grip. We've got a little push button there to cancel that. I've got it set to a keybind though, that does help. What else? APU. So it's a bit of a funky way to start this. We'll go into it as we do think about turning the engines on and whacking the APU on as well. There's an anti-serve valve to prevent the APU from surging. And basically we're going to turn the air off, turn the main system on, hold it for 10 seconds, wait for 10 seconds, and then we're going to start the APU. Once the RPM has gone over 95%, then we'll turn the generators on, make sure that's all look good, and then we'll have APU air as required. Bleed air, air conditioning, pressurization system, we've got to manage all of that. And the bleed air systems there are indicated on the panel. So there's lots to get you stuck into with this manual, and in fact it's definitely worth having a little look through. I've been looking over it through yesterday into this morning, kind of working little bits out, sitting in the flight deck, just trying to look at the layout of the aeroplane, to try and understand kind of maybe the flows that I could try and learn with the aircraft. There is a guarded ram air switch, lower centre on the overhead panel, labelled on, stop and off, allowing for direct control of the right hand ram air valve to provide ventilation to the cockpit and cabin, and 2 overheat caution lights as well. Manual control switch when you're reverting from auto pressurization systems, and there's a number of safety functions all simulated in that too. High frequency comms and VHF comm systems. A little bit more clunky because we can't just kind of tune it and then click to transfer it across like some of these newer aircraft that we've been used to and enjoying. And that cabin music can come off now. I love that. What a cool unique feature. I think it's the only time there's been a cabin simulation with PA inside any aircraft in MSFS so far. PA system, no smoking, fasten seatbelt signs, we've already done that, and we've looked at the PA system too. Static dischargers, static wicks are fitted to the trailing edge of the wings at the wingtip as well as on the trailing edge of the horizontal stabilizer, dissipating any static buildup on the aircraft during flight, preventing any radio interference. But what we will do, lots of warning lights there, we might have to revert to this as we fly along to try and understand it a little bit more. Hydraulic systems, stabilizer control systems. There's the big old speed brake. Very similar to the BA146, isn't it? And there's a big old arms switch there as well. Lift dampers, there they are. We talked about that a moment ago. On the tops of the wings, the upper surface is going to flick across and up. Oh yeah, you know what, we should probably reconnect to VATSIM, shouldn't we? And there's various different indications there, magnetic indications, which are right in front of us in our view. to understand whether they're in and locked, ready for armed, out if they're extended, and if there's a malfunction we'll get the red switching to. Manual lift dumper operation. It's actually kind of like a reverse thrust lever on the throttle. And the gust lock system as well is provided for the ailerons, elevator and rudder. Blue handle on the left of the rear pedestal. Locking the control surfaces. We'll turn that off in a little while. Maybe during taxi. Okay, let's keep scrolling. Fuel systems. Centre wing tanks, hydraulic power. Reservoirs. Hydraulic systems are simulated as well, as is things like anti-icing systems. Heat, windshield heat. Where are we? Instruments. It's so detailed. Information about the landing gear system. Main landing gear and doors. A lot of information. Then it goes on to discussing the alternate landing gear extension system, the lever that I'm not going to click today. I've got a habit of pressing red buttons and things like that, so I'll try not to today. Normal braking system followed by alternate brakes. We've touched upon that a little bit. And skid control is going to be on and guarded anyway. Rightio, let's see. Huge amount of detail going into all of the different displays, what they can and can't do, and what they will tell you information wise. It will tell you how to kind of work the oxygen systems and everything else as well. In fact, let me just read that. Independent oxygen systems provided, passenger oxygen system, portable oxygen bottles. Okay, we don't need that unless it goes really wrong. Ice detection systems. There's the climb switches, so the takeoff switch. Where is it? So, top temperature control, TTC. It's an automatic control system fitted in the engine fuel system and is used to prevent the TGT exceeding takeoff and climb limits. They're on the left of the pedestal, so if we look down here now, in the view that we've got currently, where is it gone? It's underneath here. There we go. So hopefully you can see that. Just underneath this left throttle there are two switches here, 1 and 2. Currently it's set to TTT takeoff. We flick it into climb by moving it down 1, or we can turn it off. But currently it's on. And what is that going to do? It's going to prevent our TGTs from rising above 520 for takeoff and 470 degrees Celsius for climb. However, if we increase the throttle above 98% RPM in the climb, the TGT limit will be increased to 520. Overheat, engine fire systems, suppression systems, flight deck information. We're complete with ashtrays, storage for both flight operations and manuals. Really cool. Board galley information with the PA system. We've spoke about that, and the lower panel. And then what you get in the manual is a really nice tutorial flights. This is what I was looking for. Page 143 of 253. And what JustFlight have done is they've pieced together a really nice flight from Leeds Bradford to Paris Orly. Flight of about 1 hour 27 in the flight. I shouldn't be killing the batteries. We've got external power on. So basically, when you load in for the first time, if you really want to train and follow something precisely as JustFlight intended, this is perfect for you. So you can load in. They even give you the route that you can use as well, the VOR frequencies, and a little NDB at POY as well. Towards the end, 90-minute route time, 400 nautical miles, weather set to few clouds, just to help keep things consistent with the tutorial that they've made. And I tell you how to kind of load it all up. Right, complete the test by momentarily holding the test switch in the reset position. Good morning, Automator. Welcome, welcome. Let's turn this off and we'll begin to kind of work through some of this stuff. so many buttons. Where are we? I've lost it now already. 10 pin let. Where's the ruddy thing gone? Gonna be down here, isn't it? Of course it is. Gotta be. Square lights. AP fire extinguisher test, there it is. Da-da-da. So, let's get rid of the music for now, because we all want to hear all the sounds and everything else, don't we? Complete the test by momentarily holding the test switch in the reset position. So I need to go to test for 5 seconds. Confirm the extinguisher test and APU fire warning lights illuminate. So many buttons. So many switches. And then we'll just reset that there, like so. Confirm gen switch is in the off position. In fact, we don't want to do that just yet, because if we do that, we're going to start burning fuel with the radio and everything else. Run through the pre-flight checks, beginning with the overhead panel. Let's go to tune some of these VORs to begin with then. So we've got 1228 selected at the minute on COM 1. What we need is Amsterdam Tower, 119 decimal 225. 119er. So I've got a little extra click there. That's working.
Clearance to Belfast.
I'm loading in both knocks, so going VORs, and then from there we're going to also have a little look at the GPS. So that's now loading in. Our radio master switches are turned on. So we can flick between the two. That's good. So I've basically loaded in the route as well, so I get to show you guys the VOR elements, and also then for those of you who like to fly with this, you can use this too. For the VORs though, we've got Sierra Papa Yankee 113 decimal 3 tuned into nav 1, and the course that we're roughly going to try and achieve to head towards it, 340 degrees, set there on nav 1's course. Course 2 is set to 252 degrees, and that's because we're going to head outbound from Sierra Papa Yankee to the Clacton VOR on frequency 114.55, so I've set that as well. Really old school, very crude autopilot system with this. Let's see, we'll click OK. OK, it's going to search for this. Now what we can do is we can cycle VLOC to GPS, and instead of using the VORs for navigation, it will flick the needle there across to follow the GPS path. But we're not going to do that initially, we'll do that maybe when we get towards the channel, just to ensure that we are navigating correctly, and we'll flick between the two. So by doing that we can click GPS or VLOC. The flight plan though is loaded in. We're going to go Amsterdam direct to Sierra Papa Yankee. We've got a couple of waypoints in here, but effectively all they're going to do is give us a straight line between Sierra Papa Yankee to Clacton, Clacton to Brookman's Park, so on and so forth. And that's the GPS ready. So we've got that done. QNH 1009er currently, that's set there. And we need to look for our little placard, which is going to give us our V speeds, which Comms Aviation, it's not that one. Where is it? I'm sure it's here somewhere. Who knows? So no interruption when switching, Nox Gaming says. I thought you'd load the VORs into the GPS. Yeah, but we're going to be departing non-standard, so we're going to have a little bit of a thing to begin with navigation and some vectors perhaps. There's our takeoff data. So with our weight at the moment, this little card updates itself, which is really cool. So it rounds it to the nearest 1,000 kilograms. the way JustFlight have modelled it, and
Singapore,
effectively with what we're set,
Singapore
it will give us your
06,
takeoff
runway 18
data,
left, cleared
your
for
flat
takeoff,
retraction
wind
speeds, your
110
V2
degrees, 11
speeds,
knots, bye-bye.
and your landing as well. Now if we click, we look at the speed bugs.
KLM 112 will be under departing
If we
Singapore
click that now,
Airlines, Boeing
you can see
737,
that they
line
bunch
void, runway
in and
18
hone in.
left,
We can
takeoff
now
6
move
behind.
this little speed target to try and achieve V2
Boeing 737
plus 10 or V2 plus 5, whatever else you want to set. That's set, that's set, that's set. They're on right.
Mike, ready for push and start.
Okay, let's get the APU fired up, shall we?
Mike, information Bravo.
35 minutes in, we're not doing too badly actually, are we? Pressure panel's done. We can call the stewards if we want to. External power, that's all good. Gen 3 is
1055, confirm you're pushing back.
off. Make sure that is off. Air is off as well. Okie dokie. Pre-flight checks. Beginning with the overhead panel, working our way down the electrical power panel, confirming Gen 1 and 2 switches are in the on position with the respective inoperative lights illuminated. There they are. Confirm TRU 1 and 2 are in the on position. There we go. And the mechanical indicators just below are showing in line. They are. Confirm the battery mechanical indicator is showing in line and external power switch to off. We've already got external power on though. And on the engines panel, confirm the starter master switch is set to
KLM
off.
112, runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff. The wind is 110.
And ignition switches are set to normal. They're both in the middle there.
18 left, KLM
On the air conditioning panel, set both temperature selectors as desired and set both temperature control switches to auto. It's a pretty hot day today, so we'll just turn it down a little bit, and they're both on automatic there. Set authority to stew, with the guard closed to allow the cabin crew to control the temperatures of the cabin. If the cabin temperature is to be controlled by the cockpit, open the guard and set it to cockpit. That's that one there. So we can flick it up or we can flick it down. We'll close the guard, we'll leave it on steward for that. On the airfoil anti-icing panel, set both main switches to off and reset.
KLM 1055.
There they are. And on the anti-icing panel, set both selector switches to off. We can now test the de-icing ice detection system by pressing the ice detection test button and confirm the ice detect caution lights on the overhead and glare shield illuminate for approximately 1 minute.
Turkish 86 Tango Yankee Heavy.
Turkish 86 Tango, taxi holding point Echo 6, runway 18 left, at November 2, cross runway 27.
So, they're off. And we're going to press test. So that light's gone on, and the ice detection warning light has gone on there. Cool. That will just run its course. Windshield heat's on low,
Turkish 86 Tango negative, taxi holding point Echo 6.
and fashion seatbelt signs
runway
are all on as well.
left.
Left-hand windshield
At
height heating
November
priority
2,
for captain. That's
cross
us.
runway
And on the glare
27.
shield, ensure that all 3 fire control guards are closed and the fuel shut-off valve indicators show open.
Taxiway Echo 8 and November 2, cross 8, cross runway 27, Turkish 6, Turkish 86 Tango Yankee.
Cliff RF, hello to you. This aircraft looks awesome, he says.
Turkish
It certainly
86
does.
Tango, confirm holding
GPWS
point
test,
Echo
where is
6,
it, where is it,
not
where is
Echo
it? My
8,
goodness.
but Echo 6.
Sorry, Echo 6,
There it is.
Turkish 6, Turkish 86 Tango Yankee Heavy.
Realistically, all of that would illuminate as well. That's good.
Very sorry, back with you.
Set nose wheel steering to on, close the guards.
1055, yeah, I've been calling
That's
you
down
5
here.
times, sir, with pushback
A little
clearance.
flick
I needed you to
switch.
push
Can't
back
really
5 minutes
see
ago.
its current
confirm your
position,
pushback
so
now.
we're just going to have a little look a bit closer.
Sir, I think I have a traffic behind
It's already
me.
on
I'm ready
anyway.
to push
Good.
back now.
We'll
You
close
let
the
me know.
guard.
KLM 1055, roger.
How's this
cancel
going?
pushback clearance for now, stand by.
Okay, stand by for the clearance to push back, KLM 1055.
Schiphol Tower, Formula 38, parking position, gate 2, information Bravo, requesting clearance for Lima Lima Bravo Golf, open coordinates file.
Hello 338, very good afternoon, cleared to Tel Aviv, Randy to Echo departure, runway 18 left, initial climb flight level 60, squawk 0171.
Copy, the clear at the destination at Tel Aviv, runway 18 left for departure, RMB2 Echo SID, initially climb level 60, squawk 0171 for Alala 38.
Hello 338, readback is correct, report fully ready.
So what we're going to do is prepare for our clearance. So we've got information Bravo now. And we're going to request our clearance to Belfast Aldergrove.
Osprey 697 Mike, for planning purposes, what's your estimated time until taxi?
There's no, not flying on New Sky today. There's no Fokker F28 just yet.
Osprey 697 Mike, thank you very much. Taxi holding point, Echo 6, runway 18
Knox saying that there's a table in the manual. You set the TGT limit. We haven't got to that yet.
Taxi to holding point Echo 6 at runway 18 left, cross runway 27 at holding point November 2, Osprey 697 Mike.
KLM 1055, when clear of the Osprey, Boeing 737, taxiing left to right behind, pushback and startup approved.
Busy.
Bravo, QNH 1019er.
Mark says, regardless of the price, it's an instant buy for me. It's stunning, isn't it?
Sorry, out of it, clear to push and start, KLM 1055, thank you.
Schiphol Tower, good afternoon. City 415. Stand 63 Alpha, I think. Fokker F28 with Bravo. Request RFR clearance to Belfast Aldergrove.
City 415, a very good afternoon. Clear to Belfast. Expect departure instructions at the runway. Runway 18 left, squawk 7332.
Expect departure instructions at the runway. Departing runway 18 left and squawk 7332 for Shitty 415.
Shitty 415, readback is correct, report fully ready.
Okay. So, I had to do it. Initial altitude probably going to be about 3,000 for the initial climb. So we're going to set that.
7875 at Fisher Bravo, QNH 1019er.
Hello, JustFlight, welcome. So price will be £52.49 pence, or in euros 64.95, or in dollars $69.99. Welcome to you. Beautiful, beautiful aeroplane. Right, what else? Where are we? Let's think about.
Turkish 86 Tango, you are taxiing in the right direction. If you can, make a sharp left
turning the
turn
APU on then. Let's go. So we've got here, haven't we? We've got as far as this. We're going to go main on. Wait for 10 seconds. We can't rush this step. At 10 seconds, we're going to start the APU, and then we should see the RPM needle there move. Here we go. There she goes. Should we listen from the inside or the outside? Let's do both.
Amsterdam Tower, Hyper Express 3723, information Bravo on board, stand Bravo 31, aircraft type A320
Listen to that.
Neo, requesting an IFR clearance down to Madrid Barajas as filed.
Hyper Express 3.
Adam, welcome, buddy. Thanks for subscribing.
Very good afternoon, clear to Madrid. Good up to Echo departure, runway 18 left.
So that's all done. 395.
Squawk 2110.
We're going to drag the generator to on. We can see the AC load, and then we can turn the air on as required. The bleed air supply then automatically switches around to the high pressure bleed through the APU, providing us with a little bit of bleed air. Let's go and close the aircraft doors, and for that, we're going to wiggle this around.
3723, readback is correct, report fully ready.
Oh yeah, by the way, look at those stair lights. Really, really nice, aren't they? So good. Let's get rid of cargo and the passenger door. Here we go.
Schiphol Tower, this
Little animation there, the door being locked.
Mike, I am currently on taxiway Alpha. Do I have permission to cross onto taxiway Bravo for holding
Looking really good. Let's go back to that tab so we don't accidentally click anything.
That is correct.
Hydraulic power section of the secondary instrument panel confirm the flight control and the 4 pump lights are illuminated.
So you can,
and 4 pump switches are in normal.
Bravo in that direction.
Ding 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 ding, normal, utilities, flight control systems 1 and 2.
Keep it in mind.
Fuel pressure lights are
It's no
On.
problem. Shitty 415, top of the tower.
Pass a message, C415.
Shitty 415, for your information, Amsterdam radar will be closing before you get airborne, so any fuck-ups in the air will not be judged.
Thank you, that sounds good. Press the TVI test button and confirm the engine vibration amplitude indicators increase to indicate approximately 4. I've got to find where that is now. Vibration amplitude is there. There's TVI test, there's the button. So we're looking at these little displays to the left and right of the kind of weather panel. And we're going to press that.
Readability 5.
Wiggle, wiggle, up it goes. And it's reading approximately 4.
Bravo.
We can now check the aircraft's fuel quantity.
And Schiphol Tower LL38, we are with TULIP syntax.
Really busy at Amsterdam today, isn't it? My goodness. Very, very cool. We've got lots of fuel on board here today. 3,000 kilos in each tank. And that centre tank there is empty. Moving further down the pedestal, ensure that the lift to dumper handle on the captain's throttle is down and the arm light is out, and both lift dumper indicators on the glare shield are shown in.
Runway 18 left at November 2, cross runway 27.
Tops. Yeah, cool, that's cool. So that's the arm switch. That's the lever. It is down at the moment. It says, as I've now just opened it. There we go, that's better. Ensure the speed brake and flat levers are in and up. There's the speed brake lever, and the white one there is the flap lever there, both up, and the crossfeed in the middle is set to off. On. Switch on each of the fuel pumps one by one, checking both pump lights extinguished when pump is switched on, and then turn them all back to off again. So,
85 Bravo, cleared to Belfast, Bergie for Echo departure, runway 18
respectively on and off, fuel pressure dropped off.
Squawk 7345.
Cleared through to Belfast, Bergie to Echo. Departure runway 18 left, squawking 7345.
And they're off anyway.
They're empty. Maybe I misheard, but I confirm Bergie for Echo departure.
And we need to set our transponder squawk code. So down here, we've got the ATC transponder box. We need to set 7332.
Osprey 85 Bravo, thank you very much. Feedback is correct. Report fully ready, and it looks like you're already pointing to the taxi. We need a taxi.
We'll put it on standby for now.
Pushback, or can you just start up now?
Wacko on ready.
I'll go pushback.
Osprey 85 Bravo, roger.
Schiphol Tower, KLM 1055.
Weather radar.
Taxi runway 18
Go to standby, even though we're not going to really use one at the moment. On the hydraulic system, flight control panel, ensure all 8 switches are on and all 8 lights are illuminated. There it is. They're the 4, they're all on, facing towards the nose, and the lights are illuminated. Moving down to the rear of the pedestal, confirm the gust lock is in the on position, and the landing gear
clear to the holding point
extension there is in the up position. Gust lock still on at the moment. If dumper is shown
Bravo,
normal and guarded.
Turkish Air, and at November 2 clear to cross runway 27, KLM 1055.
What we can do if we want to over there, similar to the what's it called, the BAE 146. Here it is this it? Yes. We can add in our trip and our date panel here as well, so we could do 77 or whatever it is. We can set whatever we want to in there. That's going to help them with the flight data recorder, track and log the aircraft flights.
Once passing 2,000 feet, monitor Unicom 122.8, Osprey 697 Mike.
Osprey 697 Mike, runway 18
I think
left,
we're kind of there.
Takeoff, the wind's 130 degrees, 9 knots, bye-bye.
This is default Amsterdam Schiphol, but then with an Amsterdam enhancement mod. Let's close the flight deck door. Shut the punters out. And where are we at? We need to have a little look at our takeoff speeds, don't we? We've done navigation. We're actually going to depart on heading mode first. So we've already set the heading bug for 18 left. I'm just scrolling through the checklists and the charts here to try and find our
your flight plan does not contain an actual route
performance here. Centre of gravity. Here we go. What have we got here? Speed limitations, maneuvering speeds.
And all stations, information Charlie is now current. KLM 1055, you're currently on Alpha. Join
Cool,
Bravo
that'll do.
at Alpha 10.
Let's go back
Give
to,
way
I'm just going to
Turkish
find the
Boeing
engine
777.
start checklists now.
Roger, we'll hold it, we'll join Bravo behind the Turkish at Alpha 10.
Main landing gear doors, gust locks, lighting, we're a lot further down than I thought in the checklists here. That's the one. So, check brake pressure, AC DC buses remain energized, the APU bleed air pressure is reading in the green band. It is, there it is. If the brake pressure has dropped below 1600 psi, switch on the System 1 electric pump to increase the pressure. The brake pressure is down here, isn't it, somewhere? I will find it. This is all part of me becoming a little bit more familiar with the aeroplane as we get used to what is a very new and also very old aircraft too. Fuel quantities.
Supposed to Echo 5, runway 27.
Brake pressure, there we go. I should have known. It's near to the nose wheel steering.
807, Roger.
Okay, continue.
Brake temperatures. I'm sure we'll find it's a brand new aircraft effectively anyway. Park brake is on with the blue handle pulled out. That is... Let's get rid of that.
LL338, runway 18 left. Correction, LL338, runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff. The wind 130 degrees, 9 knots, bye-bye.
Runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff.
There it is. There's the park brake lever. Epic. On the pressurization controller, set the cabin altitude selected to 1,000 feet above the intended cruise level for the flight. So because we are going for flight level 280 for cruise, we're actually then going to set to 900 as per the manual. We've done our navigational systems, we've checked our speeds. The V-speed, somebody was asking Yamato, we mentioned a little earlier on, as your weight and balance changes, this little placard here will update. So departing with flap 6 for today, V1 will give us 135 knots, V2 142, we add the 10 to 152, flap retraction speeds at 148 knots, and there's a single engine climb speed of 158 to achieve if we lose an engine. Both throttle levers then are on idle. They are. Set all 4 booster switches to on. In fact, hold on. Moving up to the engine section of the overhead panel. Oh, confirm the throttle levers are idle with the high pressure fuel valve levers shut. That's this one. That's those. Let's get them shut. Set all 4 fuel booster switches to on. 1, 2, 3, 4. All on positive rotation in a little while. So we're going to now start to work to push back and start the engines. By the way, folks,
Go ahead, Schiphol Tower 1055.
all of these kind of bits here on the panel, these are all of your light switches. So on the left and the right, we really should have put the nav lights on, put the anti-collision lights on, because we're going to be pushing back. And then we've got taxi lights, landing lights there as well on the other side. Really cool.
For and hold short there for runway.
Let's see how we go. Tower City 4 and 5, fully ready to request push and start. So again, we've got a
415,
test.
information Charlie, current QNH 1019er, pushback and startup approved.
Info Charlie, QNH 1019er, push start approved, City 1415. So we've got a custom GSX profile for this aeroplane that JustFlight has sent to me. It is a testing profile, so I'm not sure how it's going to work, or if it's going to work exactly as we expect, but we'll give it a go.
Air seems to be stopped here at the taxiway.
We'll see what happens. Little dinky tug there, and a wonderful Osprey A320 behind. Represent.
And traffic seems to have disconnected, KLM 1055, so you can just continue.
Roger that, sir. 1055, continue to Echo 5.
7875,
gone straight to the nose wheel. Looking good so far.
Takeoff, the wind 130 degrees.
So we're in a cul-de-sac, we're only going to push and start one way. We've got the hush kit disabled, I think. Oh no, we've got the hush kit on. Still pretty loud though. Let's get rid of the ground power now.
QNH 1019.
And the chocks.
Charlie, pushback approved, Osprey 85.
APU's got the power.
Tower, good afternoon, KLM 59 Echo, requesting IFR to Helsinki with Ocean Charlie. Down.
We're tracking the flight, by the way, folks, on VATSIM, on Volanta today. So I'll put the screenshots that we get throughout the flight onto Volanta, and then we'll put them into our Discord server as well, of course. Look at the nav lights, looking really good. Okie doke. Dave says, I'm in awe how you can jump straight onto VATSIM. I don't have the bottle to have that until about 40 plus hours with the aircraft. We want nose right, tail left. Nose left facing southeast on taxiway Alpha 1 Bravo. What the?
Runway 18 left, KLM 10.
Let me just check.
Amsterdam Tower, Iber Express 373.
I don't want to push wrong.
Bravo 31, requesting push inside.
Iber Express 3723, information.
Should be nose right, turning facing southeast. We'll see what happens. This is a custom GSX profile for the airport as well. Part brakes off. Let's follow the checklist for engine start.
KLM 1055, runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff. The wind
Okie doke. So,
9 knots, bye-bye.
Up to the overhead panel and start master on. Use the engine start selector to select engine 2. That's that one. We're going to flick it across.
And all stations, stand by 2 minutes, please.
Positive rotation of LP RPM should now be observed. Let's see, let's just grab this. There we go. Start valve is active. There's the HP increasing. And through 15 to 20 now, engine 2, fuel control lever to start there for the fuel valve. Monitor the oil pressure and TGT rising once it reaches 400 degrees or 50% HP. Select HP fuel lever to open. Listen to them engines. Louis, welcome. Thanks for subscribing. Big Jacko's Gaming, so this is going to be great to fly. Alright, Dave, so going back into the VATSIM thing, we kind of briefed the controllers to say, FYI, I might end up making mistakes, needing a bit of kind of patience.
Unlocking gear.
Okay, so that's all looking pretty stable now actually for engine 2. We're going to make sure that TGT is about 450. Check all pressures greater than 16 psi.
And all stations, triple tower is back.
LP RPM is 27%. And HP RPM is 47%. It was between 47 and 53. It's 53 exactly at the moment. Right. Repeat the process for starting engine 1. Press and hold. Start valve is illuminated. Looking back down on the panel. Here we go. Looking at HP. Through 15, fuel selector valve to open. Cabin noise, by the way. You get the 1000, 2000, 3000 and 4000 variants with this mark.
Shutdown for the minute, Airphone 538, Charlie 5, information Charlie board to Fokker clears to Eindhoven.
Air France 583, goedemiddag, clear to Eindhoven. Low peak for Echo departure, runway 18 left. Initial climb.
After engine start, both engines start to fall. All lights on the central warning and caution systems are extinguished with fuel pressure and igniter lights also extinguished. So we'll just let everything stabilise.
Squawk 7011, Air France 583.
Air France 583, readback is correct, report fully ready.
That's good. The little warning lights there have gone out. On the electrical power, confirm all generator lights are extinguished before setting Gen 3 to off reset. 1 and 2 are both good.
at November
and then we're going to
2,
pull that to
cross
off
runway
resets, like so. Select APU air off.
November 2, cross 27,
Check bleed air
Echo
pressure
6,
decreases by at least 5
and,
psi.
It's been a while since I've flown into Amsterdam.
Select both air conditioning main switches to on.
Express 3723, we taxi on the right hand side of
1 and
Amsterdam.
2.
You'll be taxi via Bravo, and you can enter Bravo via Alpha 4.
Near the packs kicking in now for the air
Roger,
conditioning system
Bravo,
via the engines. Ashton Anders, welcome.
I've done that.
Osprey 85 Bravo, request taxi.
Osprey 85 Bravo, taxi only point Echo 6.
Using AC/DC
runway
rotary
18
selectors, confirm all
via
voltages
Alpha
and frequencies
2
are operating in the green
November
bands.
2,
We're not experiencing any
cross
icing
runway
conditions.
27.
We'll set the anti-icing switches to automatic.
Holding clear taxi, holding point Echo 6 runway 18 left via Alpha 2 at November 2 cross runway 27. Osprey 85 Bravo.
I can go on auto there. Anti-icing, jolly good. Turn on pitot and vane heating and confirm the amber lights extinguish. So there we go. On the hydraulic panel, check all lights are extinguished and all hydraulic indications are in the green band. So the hydraulic switches are down there, they're on. And we want to have a little look at your hydraulics here. So hydraulic pressures and fluid quantities on the left with the captain. We can now extend the flaps to a takeoff configuration of 11 degrees. They've said on the tutorial. We're going to go for flap 6. Let's do flap 11. And then we'll quickly jump back. Wrong way. We'll bring it up again to flap 6, and we'll go back to flaps 11 just so you can see the animations.
Airfront 583, information Charlie, QNH1019er, pushback and setup approved.
Looking good.
QNH1019, push start to break for 583.
It's only ever going to start live before switching off the start engine master. We'll pop that off. Relights all good. That's the one step I missed there. Making sure that we're following it all carefully as best as we can. So flaps 11. Taxi lights. We're going to confirm all flight instruments set for takeoff. So we've got 3000 initially set for the altitude there. Rotate the pitch command to control 10 degrees nose up, and that's this flight director system here. Now it's really funky this. 10 degrees is going to be 5, 10 there. That will give us flight directors at about 10 degrees. There it is. With a little offset there because we've got a heading bug selected for 18 left. Step stab trim by clicking the CG SMC button on the aircraft page of the EFB. Lovely job. This is a nice little shortcut for us. CG SMC. We'll click that. Stab trim should now have set itself. Confirm the coal tank indicators and the pedestal are black, indicating there is more than 1,300 in the collector tanks. That was down here. There it is, black. We can now turn on the taxi lights, apply power. We're going to taxi out, we need taxi instructions though. So we'll extend it and then turn it on. What have we got here? Let's see, those taxi lights. There it is, right on the nose. How cool is that? Yeah, I'm flying the largest variant. City 415, request taxi.
City 415, taxi holding point Echo 6, runway 18 left via Alpha 2 at November 2, cross runway 27.
Taxi hold point Echo 6, runway 18 left via Alpha 2 at November 2, cross 27, City 415. Little bit of power. Get rid of the gust lock. Should we have a look at the animations on the outside? So, full aileron, elevator deflection, back on the stick, all the way forwards. Full left on the aileron. Back to neutral, all the way right. And if we just do a little bit of brakes here, because that way I can show you guys the rudder as well. So taxiing and idle, MSFS always likes a little bit of a wiggle with the whole thing. And I've got the spoilers there a little bit open. That's the lift spoilers and the spoilers, the speed brake extended there, clamshell. Nox says, I think your high pressure valve switches are still in start. Them? No, they're on.
3723, runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff. The wind's 130 degrees, 9 knots, bye-bye.
Alpha 2.
20 left, clear for takeoff.
November 2.
Over to Unicom after we've left.
From left side, when passing 2,000 feet, you can automatically switch to the next station. In this case, that is Unicom 1 to 2, definitely.
Shame about that. 3723, thank you very much. Airport 583, ready for taxi.
Airfront 583, taxi only point Echo 6, runway 18 left.
No idea what to expect with this. I've done a little bit of hand flying with it to kind of get an idea of the feel for it. Federico, estimated Wednesday, so 5 days from now. As we taxi out, we can shut down the APU because our flight time is going to be longer than 30 minutes, otherwise we're just burning lots of fuel. We're going to press and hold stop OS test button on the APU panel, and then we're going to set the APU to off. So pressing and holding. RPM surge. And off. Wednesday 12th of July there from JustFlight, thank you. Down there we can arm the lift spoilers, the lift dumpers, sorry, showing ready and red illuminated. Confirm the gust lock is off, check the rudder ailerons and elevator for full and free movement, we've already done that, and making sure now that the hydraulic pressures there are all in the green band still.
Airplot 1125, feedback is correct, reportedly ready.
Thank you.
City 415, looks like you missed Alpha 2, join the Bravo at Alpha 3. City 415, join a Bravo at Alpha 3.
Oh, okay, sorry, Bravo, Alpha 3, City 1415. I was just looking at the charts there thinking, I think I've missed that. Schiphol, of course, works in like a one-way system, so Alpha's used for inbound, Bravo's for outbound. I was just looking at the aeroplane there thinking I've missed a step here, but I was too busy stuck into the kind of checklists and the tutorial or the manual. Yeah, so today RV I was meant to be flying Wizz Air Gdansk to Alison Vigra, but I've been waiting for this for about a week or so now, really looking forward to it. This is the route that we've had prepped for it, for any previews, and we're diving straight in basically. Toby eye tracker, let's whack that on for now. Lift dumper is shown ready there with that magnetic light.
82 November Charlie, good afternoon. Your direction of flight requires an odd flight level. Would you like flight level 290 or 270?
And now we need to look down and turn the autopilot yaw damper on. So down to the bottom.
Say again, you are very quiet.
Yaw damper there, switching on. Set transponder on and the altitude reporting switch to alt.
290, you are clear to Paris Charles de Gaulle. Kudos to Echo departure. Runway 18 left. Initial climb, flight level 60, squawk 1000.
That's on now. Extend and turn on the landing lights and flare out lights and strobe lights, and that's going to be informing for imminent departure. So we're pretty much now, we've done our pre-takeoff checks. It's a very crude... Os Flight Simmer, hello buddy, thank you very much. Saying she flies very well, you're doing a great job in showcasing the Fokker, thank you buddy, really appreciate that. It's a beautiful aeroplane, isn't it? So unique as well. As we were mentioning earlier on, JustFlight are also working on the more modern versions of this, which are kind of the variants that replace the Fokker 28 later on. And the Fokker 70 and 100, I believe, isn't it, JustFlight, that you're working on? So really looking forward to seeing what that looks like. We'll just follow the Air France, I think. So that's all set. We can ding the crew. And we've got a little announcement. Lead air's on automatic, that's all on. That's all off. Anti-icing's not required
Good
at
afternoon,
the
runway
moment.
18 right, clear to land, the wind 130 degrees, 9 knots.
Had a little bit of rudder input there, my bad. Just about saved it. Pete, welcome. Ashton says I still fly the BA 146, well the BA 146 professional rather, almost every time.
81 Mike, squawk more Charlie.
And JustFlight there saying that we have a Simbrief profile for the Fokker F28 in development that we have that we aim to have available for release. Yeah, we mentioned that at the start of today's live stream. I'm using a Fokker F28 Simbrief profile today, so I'm hoping that we've got this right.
Easy to November Charlie, information Charlie, QNH 1019er, pushback and startup approved.
Pushback startup approved.
It should be okay. P1 power loss, just for giggles, Tony says. You know my track record with testing aircraft and doing that sort of stuff. It won't end well. So for the takeoff, we're going to move the detents, advance the detent, the throttle to the detent position. Sorry, there's like a little white band on the throttles. Confirm 100% thrust is indicated by the thrust meters. If 100% thrust is not indicated at detent, continue to advance the throttles until 100% thrust is indicated. Release the brakes and keep the aircraft on the centre line using the nose wheel steering up to 80 knots. Then rudder authority will come into play, like other airliners as well. As we reach V1 and rotate, we'll begin to raise the nose of the aircraft. We're going to continue to a nose up attitude of around 10 degrees, maintaining V2 plus 10, which is going to be about, what was it, V2?
Osprey 85 Bravo, runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff, the wind's 130 degrees, 9 knots, bye bye.
Runway 18 left,
158, V2's 136.
Bravo, thanks for the ATC.
Air France 583 behind the departing Osprey Airbus A320 Neo.
Set the speed bug there.
18 left, Echo 6 behind.
Paces, can you raise the volume on the aeroplane a little bit?
Air France 583.
Oh, it's that quiet, is it, folks? We are taxiing on idle though, don't forget. And we're also about to have an absolute roar from these Rolls-Royce Spey. There you go, I'll just turn it up a little bit.
Orange 125 for taxi.
Orange 125.
Bravo, we're following the lines. November 2
At November
is
2, cross runway 2.
coming up, there it is. They're looking down for strobes.
1A left, holding for Echo 6 via November 2, cross runway 2.
Pop the strobes on.
Orange 125.
Thankfully this isn't the fault bar.
Mike, welcome to Amsterdam, taxi gate Delta 10 via Quebec.
Just making sure the runway is clear. You never know.
Taxi to gate Delta 10 via Quebec and it's Whiskey 13, cross runway 18 center.
Holding Echo 6, so now we're pretty much ready for departure, folks. Excited but also nervous.
Easy to November Charlie, taxi only point Echo 6, runway
Great to see so many of you enjoying this so far as well. It's absolute madness. We've been on the ground for an hour and 14 now, but thank you to every one of you. Got 108 likes so far and almost 300 watching. It's insane. Very warm welcome to you all if you are tuning in for the first time. I'd love it if you chose to subscribe after today as well.
Runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff. The wind's 130 degrees, 9 knots. Bye bye.
1 left, cleared to takeoff, Air France 583, but I'm
City 415, advise when ready to copy departure instructions.
Oh, we'll go ready to copy City 415. So here we go.
City 415, after departure, remain this frequency, climb flight level 60, turn left, heading 090.
After departure, remain your frequency, flight level 60 for initial climb, left 090, City 415. So we're going to move the heading now.
Feedback is correct. Behind the departing Air France Airbus A320, line up wait, runway 18 left, Echo 6 behind.
Behind the departing Air France, line up and wait, 18 left behind, City 415. So we're going to go heading back to that 090.
Charlie, we always taxi on the right hand side, so taxify Alpha, please.
Zip the altitude set to 6.
Yeah, Alpha, too much.
Clunky, clunky. And we're going to pop all the lights on. Extend the landing lights. Strobes, nav, anti-coal, we don't need the others. And on the outside, that's what it looks like. Mega. Hey look, there's a little advert. Bernie, welcome buddy, thank you very much. The inaugural F28 fly on the channel. I'm just going to take my time lining up here. It's actually almost like a baby DC-9, yeah, you're right. I'd not thought of it like that. It does look fairly similar, doesn't it, in a little way.
And City 415, report ready for departure.
We'll go ready for departure, City 415.
City 415, emergency vehicles are on standby. Runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff. The wind's 130 degrees, 9 knots.
Clear for takeoff, hopefully emergency stroopwaffle, City 415. Right. There's no going back. Well, actually there is, if we get it really wrong. Where's that windsock? There it is.
125, be at a departing NLM Cityhopper Fokker F28.
So, we're going to look down, we're going to get that stick into wind, and we're now going to hold her on the brakes.
Traffic line up runway 18 left via Echo 6.
A little bit forwards on the stick. In fact, I'm not going to worry about that.
KLM 59 Echo, could you taxi?
KLM 59 Echo, taxi holding point Echo 6, runway 18 left, at November 2, cross runway 27.
Power set.
Brakes off.
Taxi line November 2, crossing runway 27.
Let's go!
Holding point Echo 6, runway 18 left. KLM 59 Echo.
Already having to put in quite a bit of rudder. Oh my goodness, the gust. One, rotate. Woo. Gently back. Wowzers. Positive rate. Whoa-hey! Gear up. God, I've picked the windy places, haven't I? Maintaining that for now.
Orange 125, runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff. The wind's 130 degrees, 9 knots. Bye-bye.
Takeoff 18 left.
So, turning left. A little bit of manual flight.
Set climb power.
Let's get rid of the Toby eye tracker there. It's too distracting. Okay, flaps are all up. That's all good. That's all off. Fly steady. Bring that power back a little bit, and we're going to look down. We're going to get autopilot mode on.
Easy to November Charlie, line up away, runway 18 left.
Heading mode's active for 090 degrees, and we're at 4,000 already. So standard pressure 1013, 2992 hectopascals. Bit more of a headwind from what I anticipated. We're going to go heading mode now instead of roll mode.
Air Portugal 676, runway 18 right, clear to land, the wind 130 degrees, 9 knots.
Heading mode still on, 1 to go. We're going to
6121.
move the speed bug up here
6121, information Charlie, QNH10119,
to speed mode.
approved, facing Sierra 8.
Although now actually we're at 6,000 already.
Sierra 8, pushing start approved 1019, over check Charlie, Martin 612. City 415, climb at your discretion, just going to vector you on to Sierra Papa Yankee VR.
Walk over, thanks City 415. So, we'll keep going. 280, let's go and restrict all the way up. Non-standard departure.
Airflow 1125,
Speed's still good.
QNH10119er, pushback and setup approved.
280, speed mode. So height mode, switching to speed mode. Pitch command still at 10 degrees. Let's bring it a little bit down.
City 415, turn left heading 010 degrees.
Left 010, City 415. Round we go. Heading mode still 010.
Good day, Aeroport 369er, stunt number Echo Y9er, pro flight radio check.
Readability 5, break, easy 2 November Charlie, runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff.
Okay,
the wind
and then we'll continue to climb.
9 knots, bye bye.
Yeah, so it's got GPS, which is down here. We're also using the VOR mode at the moment, so we're just tuning using this. What do you give us? 015, so about 340 for the inbound intercept roughly for us in a little while. Sierra Papa Yankee.
Good day, Aeroport 369er, stunt number Echo 19er.
That was 2 stations at once. First, Aeroflot 369er. I have no flight plan from you. Please refile.
Decimal 3.
Taken request.
Information Charlie, stand up for 65 right, clear.
16 miles.
I can 6 Papa Lima. I see you filed a non-RNAV routing. Could you please file an RNAV routing?
Yes.
Good day, Aeroport 369er, stunt number Echo 19er, pre-flight radio check.
Readability 5, break, and 59er Echo, runway 18 left, cleared for takeoff, the wind's 130 degrees, 9 knots.
And through 10,000, now we're doing the cabin pressure.
Clear for takeoff, Skylline 59 Echo, goodbye.
Pressurising. Normally it seems. Happy days. Now what else is in the checklist here?
676, taxi gate Bravo 35.
Set climb speeds to 250.
Cross runway 18 center.
Roger, Bravo 35, Quebec.
We go back to pitch mode.
City 415, turn left heading 360.
Left 330, City 415. that's what we want there. Heading mode 330.
Good day, Aeroport 369er, stunt number Echo 19er, crew flight radio check.
Aeroflot 369er for the 5th time, readability is 5.
Read U52, request a fire clearance, TULIP, information Charlie, Aeroflot 369er.
Aeroflot 369er, clear to Berlin, Arnhem for Echo departure, runway 18 left, initial climb flight level 60, squawk 1000.
External sounds, there you go, I told you it'd be loud. Absolute rocket ship.
Aeroflot 369er, you are cleared.
Just check speeds here.
Aeroflot 369er, we are cleared to destination as field runway in use 18 left via
Aeroflot 369er, standby, break, City 415. 5, turn left heading 290 degrees to intercept Spijkerbor, Sierra Papa Yankee VOR. You can 12 to come, 122, that's late, number 1 for flight.
Left 290, Sierra Papa Yankee, thanks to ATC, Unicom, onwards, City 415, bye.
Lufthansa 81, I've got a question. Are we doing VFR?
Go back to speed mode, because we're going a bit too slow here.
Lufthansa 81, Mike, sorry, again.
Working to try and accelerate.
Do we VFR today?
Might use a bit more power here.
Lufthansa 81, Mike, I'm sorry, I don't understand you.
1228. So we'll scroll COM1 back to 1228. Quite a bit of scrolling here. No auto throttle, by the way, folks. There we go, that's done. Now what we can do is go nav 1, beam. Ah, it's not having it. Just trying to retrim here. What have I missed? That's my question. Oh my goodness, yes. Of course it is. Thanks. I'm staring at the speed here because I'm just being a bit poor with speed management. So we've overshot Sierra Papa Yankee a little bit. That's fine. We're going to go round, follow. What do we want now? 252 degrees, don't we? Yamato saying, I really wonder if one day MSFS will have a bird strike mode. That would be interesting. That would. I'm not sure if I would be keen on that though, very much. Okay, so now we're kind of trying to intercept an outbound course of 252 from here. It's a good tip there from JustFlight. Can engage height mode instead. Hold the aircraft's current height. Oh no, it's gone straight into a high pitch up there. What have I missed? I'm going to go to alt hold here instead. No. Let's recycle the autopilot. No, that's pushing us 20 degrees nose up. We're still okay with speed for now. I'm just keeping an eye. Where's our trim setting? Dial somewhere, isn't it? Speeds come up a little bit more. And we're going to go to speed mode. See if that takes it. Nope, straight back to 20 again. Okay, back forwards on the stick. This is going to be interesting. No, not doing a return. Hold on a second. What have we got here? Let's turn the autopilot off entirely, shall we? Because that's going a bit messy. Constantly wants to go straight into a nose high attitude, which we don't want. So I'm going to set 21,000 for now. Let's try and sort out this. This is no doubt me doing something really wrong. 210. And we're level. Jeez. Smooth though with it, am I? Bernie, thanks buddy. Welcome, welcome. Trying to trim forwards. Still lots of trim. Okay. Okay, that's looking a bit safer. Flight mode, what the? Look at that, straight up. Woo! Back to that. Definitely brown alert in the cabin, 100%. So what we can do down here, if we want to fly on GPS, we're on that kind of magenta line at the moment because we're flying this outbound course from Sierra Papa Yankee to Charlie Lima November. We can just press V-lock. And what it's going to do now is illuminate GPS. If we leave that on VOR lock and we leave it on beam in a moment, it should solve itself. But first, I really want to solve this issue with the trim because I don't really know what the heck it's trying to do here. Apart from trying to kill us, of course. Okay, I think it's now clicked in, weirdly enough. We're at 330 now. Let's go to speed mode, see what it wants to do here. Look at that, it's gone straight back to crazy, nose up. No, we're going to take over again. What the chuffing heck is going on? That's all good, that's all off. They're set, flaps are in. It's trimming itself at the minute, which is weird because now it's quite happily in pitch mode. I'm just going to leave it for a moment until that the trim wheel starts rotating, or stops rotating, sorry. We are in pitch mode now.
Amsterdam traffic, Irving for Papa Golf, direct Rakix.
Okay. That's looking a bit safer now, isn't it? Slight rate of descent though. That's fine for now. I'm just going to let the aeroplane sort itself out for a moment. So that's on, that's on. We're in height mode at the moment, 230. Let's go to speed mode, 280. It's beginning to rotate trim upwards. Gone to a 1,000 foot per minute, 1,500 foot per minute climb. Right, I think we're getting there now, folks. think we're getting there. We need to go back to heading mode. Where are we? For now, because we're on roll. JustFlight said this is something we've experienced in testing too, and is one of the final issues we have to fix ahead of release. So good to know. (252) 1133 Clacton. And now we should be able to, we're on GPS, aren't we? We can flick that back to GPS now from VLOC, and we should be able to now click beam. It's armed because we're a little bit off our VNAV path at the moment, or our LNAV kind of track at the moment. So I'm going to bring heading mode, which is still active, a little bit more to the west, and that should allow us to return back to our track. And now if I bring the speed down, IAS mode, use a little bit of flight director pitch command, shall we, instead. JustFlight says, as the issue is when the autopilot engages, the trim can sometimes run away and needs to correct itself before it calms down. Yeah, so that seems to be kind of that issue that we've had there, that runaway trim. All good. Just help that nose come up a bit more here in pitch mode. Temperamental little trim, absolutely. But yeah, this is a pre-release, of course. So there are little quirks, there are things that haven't been polished 100% yet, as we found. And in a moment, we've got 6 miles. We should, if we increase the range ring, we can see our track there. GPS is active for CDI, so that now means instead of flying the VORs, we're using kind of like an RNAV. And yeah. Let's go back to IAS mode. Hopefully it now holds the required speeds. Don't want to descend though. Morning Clipper, welcome. There we are, this seems to be working out quite nicely. Nox says, how do you have heading and beam mode enabled? At the minute, it's in heading mode because I've actually drifted off our flight track, so it's using heading mode. I'd like to think when we intercept that flight path line, we come right a little bit more. We go west now 270 degrees perhaps, we should intercept that a bit quicker. We should get beam mode active then. VOR lock for nav1 using GPS to take over. We should see that then go green, I think. Yeah, it's not just a guide, you can actually track with the autopilot. Nav2 for Clacton, showing ahead of us. And then from the cabin, now it's kind of settled down a little bit, and we've changed our trousers. We can dive in here. So we should see, in a minute, a little bit of a left turn. There it goes. So it's thinking about it now, isn't it? We dive back in, and beam mode has now gone active. So because we've gone back onto our flight plan line using the GPS mode, having loaded the flight plan in from the world menu, we've returned back to our flight plan line. Beam mode was armed, it's now active, and it's disabled heading mode to fly our GPS route, if you like. So if we look at the charts now, you can see we've headed out of Amsterdam up to Sierra Papa Yankee, drifted south a little bit there, away from our flight plan line, and then we've used heading mode with beam armed and GPS active instead of the VOR tracking to return back to that magenta flight plan line. So next waypoint Redfer into Clacton, and then we'll be over the UK. Let's get rid of some of that power. Andy, welcome. That's it, we're turning back the clock today. Heading beam IAS, rotating the VOR lock. Lift dumper is shown in. That would be therefore also locked. Autopilot's now levelled off, holding flight level 280, our cruise for today. Set the altitude hold switch on the flight director. Bink. There it goes. On to on, and the flight directors will now provide guidance for level flight. The F28 is not fitted with an auto throttle, so as the airspeed increases we'll need to manually reduce the thrust to maintain the desired cruise speed of around Mach 70, which is a bit high actually. It's kind of right there, that's Mach 70, so let's keep that coming up, a bit more power. Next waypoint, because we've got 3 miles to Redfer, but then we're inbound Clacton. So what we can do, we can kind of flick between flying VOR and GPS throughout today. We've got nav 1 tuned to Sierra Papa Yankee 1133, Clacton 11455. Let's go to nav 1, sorry. Therefore, we change Brookman's Park 1175. Like so. It's going to be outbound 305. Yeah, probably a good point, isn't it? Doing a fuel check. Down here, our fuel quantities, we've burnt quite a bit actually, my goodness. Watching that drink the fuel. Hoping we have enough. We don't have an exact profile for this, so I'm hoping we've calculated enough for today's journey. Be interesting if not. Maybe a divert to Birmingham. It's always possible, isn't it? Right, so we've got 305 for the course. Accidentally reverted to roll mode there, that's my fault because I'd used a nav 1 and nav 2, I'd flicked the 2 modes across there so it reverted. Again, it's something that you've got to keep an eye on with the aeroplane. A little bit more power just to help us. So that's us now, there's the coast. And we are rocketing, making a whole lot of noise over the English Channel. Really, really nice livery. Incredible sounds, isn't it? Hopefully you guys agree with that as well. Wonderful sounds. Look at that dirty black smoke coming out the back of the engine. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's very cool. And on VATSIM network, of course, we've got a whole load of other aeroplanes buzzing around, doing their thing. No thrust modulation system, Dursey 2. Looks like we're quite comfortable now at Mach 70. AJ Fanani, welcome. Sim brief, where have we got? So Clacton. What's the average fuel burn in this? Clacton, 3.8 tonnes of fuel apparently we should have left on board. I think we've definitely got enough. Famous last words. Depends how quick it's drinking it, I suppose. There's the fuel flow, kilograms per hour, engine 1 and 2. 1.17, 1.16 per hour. Ah, that's plenty. Okay, onwards. What have we got here? Let's dive into some of these custom views that I've got set up for today.
If we run dry on fuel, you are not to use the onboard gin. This is only designated for human consumption.
Thank you very much, Seat to Alpha. Welcome. Thanks for the tip there, buddy. I would never use tasty gin for reserve fuel. Clipper says, just coming in now, is there no FMS in this aircraft? There's an optional GPS, the one that we've kind of been having a little look at today. But otherwise, it's old school flying. NDBs, VORs, vectors, that sort of thing. A lot of work. Chris, I think you're correct there. JustFlight are working on additional products, the Fokker F70 and the 100. Some point later in the future. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the music, i.e. the sounds instead of tunes. Still digging right into the manual as we fly along. There's so much to kind of consider and do. And we're going to have a little think about the ILS in a little while. They're kind of the basic steps for operating an ILS. Nav 1, frequency controller, select desired ILS. Select QDM of the runway for course 1. Select a heading to intercept the beam. Press heading, stay depressed and illuminated. Press beam, it will stay on and illuminated. And height button on the mode selector, stay depressed and illuminates. The aircraft's current altitude will be maintained until beam interception. Beam capture is indicated by the heading button popping out and the light extinguishing. RAB's already overhead Birmingham. Mark is asking how many liveries are there going to be. There's quite a few for different variants. What page? We're on page 189, aren't we? Let me just write that down. And I'll scroll up because it is in the manual. Here we go. So 4 variants. 1000, 2000, 3000 and the 4000. We're in the 4000 version today. With the Fokker F28 Mark 1000 you get an Air France livery, Air Ontario, Argentine Air Force, Canadian Regional in 1972, the Fokker F28 Demonstrator, instruction number 11003, PH Mol, first flew 20th of October 1967, wow, this is really old school. Horizon Air, LTU, Lufttransport Unternehmen GmbH, Martin Air, Time Air, and then for the 2000 variant, Air France TAP, British Airways TAP, Ghana Airways, Nigeria Airways, TAT European, that really cool TAT yellow that we were talking about earlier on the ground, really special retro liveries for this, and then the 3000 comes with some Australian wonders, Ansett Australia, Ansett Express, Garuda Saudia, and then the 4000 has Air France, Air Anglia, Air Luigi, Air UK, Empire Korean, this NLM Cityhopper, Piedmont, Sabina, Scandinavian and US Air. I can hear some little pops and surges. Whoops. Stand by. Overspeed. There we go. Just gently advancing the throttles back. I could hear a little pop in the cabin there, like a little engine kind of surge and stuff like that. So we want 3052, yeah, 305. Clacton now, out 263 degrees. .263, and I'm actually going to try something now. So we're going to go to a little bit more power. We're going to go to V-lock mode, nav 2, beam. So now we're flying back on this kind of outbound course from the VOR at Clacton. Keeping an eye on the speeds. So what that was is we've kind of burnt fuel, we've become lighter, and the power setting that I'd got selected was no longer suitable. Brookman's Park 1175, we're going to be outbound 305, so that's ready. We've got nav 2 active at the minute, we've got nav 1 ready, 305. Yeah, this is flying properly. This is not kind of, you know, the A320 where you get in it and it's very much autopilot on, throttle climb gate, LNAV, VNAV, manage heading, manage altitude, and you can just leave it. This is like the 146 as well, and some of the other older aircraft in the sim starting to become available. This is older flying, and it's intense. You know, bearing in mind this was a 2-pilot aircraft, there is a lot of work to do for one simmer, and that is what makes this really good fun. Incredibly immersive. You can't spend too much time away from the flight deck because something like speed will trip you up. Something to kind of bear in mind. But yeah, what do you guys think so far? You're watching it live. I'm curious to hear what you think in the live chat. Beautiful aeroplane, isn't it? The 8K textures are just exquisite. Look at this. Oh, exposed wiring underneath the dash and the glare shield. That's incredible. Spitfire RAF saying love it. Look at this. Oh. How cool. So very unique. AJ Finani saying JustFlight always delivers on textures. Yeah, it's truly hands-on. What power have we got here? I'm just going to drop it back a little notch. Can you play custom music in the cabin, Hergy says. Yes, we did it on the ground. Let's play it again. So it's minus 23 decibels. You might not be able to hear it, certainly with the noise of the Rolls-Royce Spey engines blasting away. But you can make your own .wav playlist using that. Put the music file into the sound pack. It's all detailed in the instructions manual for the aircraft, and you can have whatever bopping tunes you want. You can maybe even put your favourite Spotify playlist in as a .wav and just sit in the back. Don't even have to reduce the decibels really if you don't want to.
We make a Golf on the departure, Clacton 2 Echo.
Can you hear it? Can't hear the cabin music, Wombat says. It's because it's really quiet. It's kind of muffled as if it's coming out the speakers. It was Hallman Don't Go, that's what it was. Thing is, if I turn it up, remember when we get on the ground at Belfast, we'll turn everything off, we'll disconnect from VATSIM again, and then I'll turn the volume right up so that we can just hear and focus on those lovely sounds. How are we doing with this top tree? Zoom out a bit more, 35 nautical miles. Brookman's Park's coming up in 17 miles. Yeah, two options, 4K textures or 8K. Because I've got an RTX 4090, I've gone crazy with the 8K textures today. And they are spectacularly stunning. Really, really impressive. AJ finally says this is where British Av Geek Rick rolls us. I'd not thought of it, but it would be brilliant. Do you want 305? Let's turn it round. Oops, a bit too far. Kenny Keno. 305, there it is. And we can't really pre-tune or worry about the ILS just yet. Yamato could just about hear it. US Air had some Zach. That's one of the included liveries as well. Tiny little notch of power. Yeah, we've got to keep it south just to kind of stick to all these VORs with a fairly legal route. Certainly with a modern air rack as well. Yeah, Piedmont, US Airways. Mattis says be careful, there's air traffic in the area. Well, they're going to have to avoid me. Because all we're going to get is a little TCAS indication there. TA only at the minute. Look at that. Right, so Brookman's Park's coming up, 7.1. We're going to turn northbound and then we'll go maybe get that little bit of a dash view for you guys. Is that hush kit enabled? Hush kit's off. Get the extra noise. Lovely. Cyclone. So I've got the Honeycomb Bravo, but I've got the Thrustmaster Boeing yoke as well. Really, really impressive. Flick it to nav 1, 305 for the course. Watching the OBS. Should intercept the needle in a moment. Danny, welcome. He says 1175. Oh wait, hold on. That is Brookman's Park. Daventry 1164. Let's go to heading mode. 117. 1164. Go back to B. It does have ADFP BAS, yes, there we go. It's just like an old school Collins manual tuner. Look at that. Proper old school, isn't it? Just monitor this in the turn here. Brookman's Park to Daventry. Daventry then Honolly 11365. 11365, we're out 298. Just flying a little bit loose here as we're learning as we go. This is this sort of thing that you kind of want really with a really detailed old school airliner, because you could just get in and fly it and have it do it all for you. This, you've got to learn it, so it's going to take a fair while kind of getting used to the system integration, how the sort of the autopilot system works. It's very old school, and certainly when we're used to flying things like LNAV, VNAV flights all the time, there's London Heathrow in the backdrop, it means that get a bit rusty tracking VORs, as we've seen today from fairly sloppy attempts to keep flying flying smooth. We are trying though, we are trying. Hopefully it comes across. Super loud on the outside, very impressive. Speed still good, fuel checks 2 tons in each. Happy days. And we're now nav 1, 305. That's it, Cyclones. Just like the PMDG DC6 and JustFlight's 146, you've got to spend the time learning it, and it's all part of the fun of the immersion that it offers, really. By the way, I will put this custom view pack into flightsim.to if you guys want, so that on Wednesday when you load in, you can basically download a custom view pack ready, so you can get all these. If that's something you guys would like, let me know and I'll put a little zip package together. By the way, there is a rear cabin down here as well. What have we got? So we've got a little lavatory and this cabin crew seating area. What's through here? Nothing. No animated toilet, unfortunately, before you guys ask. But the lab is there. Let's see if we can go in. No. Sensible. I can only imagine the discoloration after 40 years, 50 years. Beautiful cabin. Really special. Oh, actually, while we're here, I'm going to turn the emergency exit lights on. Speed's still good. Beam, height mode. We've still got a few minutes to Daventry. So emergency exit lights go on. And then in the back here, look at that. All illuminated. Down the bottom there as well. Seatbelt signs and no smoking signs are on because I've actually forgotten to turn them off. So let's see if that's animated. We'll pop that onto armed. And the seatbelt signs can come off. There it is, look, animated in the cabin. Seatbelt signs have now been extinguished. Really cool. We got, how long we got till Daventry? Daventry in 14 miles. Jolly good. So next up, we're going to have, what are we now? We're 305. We want 298, which is about there. Not much of a difference, to be fair. This does, V1. Hello, welcome. Tuned in right at the time for toilets. Yeah, we've got the hush kit enabled here as well. There it is. We can tick that. Doesn't really quieten the Rolls-Royce Spain that much from the outside. Yeah, Ronnie says in those older days, did they only use VOR and NDB for navigation? I guess GPS wasn't really an option. I think if it did, it would have had some retrofitted GPS, maybe a crew version. But yeah, most of the flying would have been done, certainly in the 60s, I would imagine, more would assume, with NDBs and VORs. Kind of a similar route to what we're doing now, actually. And then as Knox is saying, INS, which would have used coordinates as a kind of rudimentary GPS before GPS was a thing, if that makes sense. Exactly, Pate Laros. We all want to be deafened by the roar, so bye-bye hush kit. Daventry's coming up, so 298 nav 2 11365, that is Honolulu. So we'll flick to nav 2. Slight little kink there on the OBS. And as we start to intercept, we're going to have a very slight gentle left turn to intercept the next VOR inbound course. From Honolulu, we're going to head to Wallasey, so we're going to leave Honolulu at heading 321 degrees. We're going to need to put beam mode active, my bad. Oh crap. In-flight restart time. Why do I always do this sort of stuff? Okay, we're just going to watch the speed. It can hold altitude for the time being, and I'm going to put engine 1 onto maximum thrust now for now. Why do I always click these things? My goodness. Liam, welcome, buddy. Thanks for subscribing. What was that? Engine fire. Oh, for goodness sake. Fuel shut off valve open. Through 20. We're getting her back. Speed's still good, altitude's holding, course is still holding, engine 2's coming back online. Here we go. It's fine. A quick engine relight. Yes! I did a thing! There you go, relight in flight, folks. We'll take it. David, what do you think happened? I clicked a lever by accident. A little bit of poo came out there. Okay, let's accelerate. We did it! We can pretend that that was intentional. Look at us, well, look at us intentionally killing an engine and then relighting it in flight. Right, what were we doing? Honolulu 11365. Definitely sweating now, my goodness. Out of Honolulu 321 to Wallasey. So 11365 is on nav2. Nav2's active. We'll get back on to what we were doing. 114.1. It's going to be 307. We want heading outbound of 321 from Honolulu, so we're going to slip that round to 321. But this is your JustFlight's poster boy. I know, yeah, so I feel really bad. So those of you who remember the JustFlight 146 Professional, we did a little flight, didn't we, to, where was it? Can't remember now. The islands in the middle of the Atlantic, like between Iceland and the UK. My goodness, the Faroe Islands. There we go. And I'd accidentally clicked the alternate landing gear extension, gravity extension in the 146. So we then had to fly all the way. That's it, Varga. All the way with the gear extended, with no way to bring them back in again. So that was my fault. They then they had to introduce an extra click spot to make sure it never happened again for everyone else. Oh yeah, that was really good timing, Yoep, because I crashed. And then the stream came back online with me on the runway. Okay, speed is re-established. We're going to bring the throttles back down a little bit now. And we've already overflown. Three, two, one. Go to heading modes. Just get back on here. Oh, Benja XD, welcome. Yes, the aircraft's brand new to MSFS. It's coming very soon to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Expected release on Wednesday coming, so about 5 days from now. Really, really immersive, very busy flight deck environment and experience for us as well. To be honest, I'm having a really good time, even with my little cock-ups. That makes it fun, doesn't it? That makes it interesting. It makes it stressful, but in a good way, because we're now testing things and discovering things that we kind of didn't really anticipate discovering. We'll do 330 heading mode. We want nav to, what are we now? We've gone Honolulu, outbound 321 degrees, 11365. We'll arm the beam again. So we're now going to be inbound Wallasey, 114.1. When that does come in range, in fact it already is in range, look, happy days. It will give us an indication on the ABS. Wojtek, welcome buddy. Price was mentioned earlier on, it was 50 something pounds. JustFlight put in the live chat earlier. Oh, it was right at the beginning, wasn't it? Can anybody remember what the price was exactly? JustFlight provided us a price in dollars, pounds, and euros. I am scrolling up, but it won't let me go up any further, so I can't actually see it. There we go. Thank you. £52.49, $64.95 or $69.99. There we go. Hope you're well there, Wojtek. Been a long time. Great for you to tune in again. A little fuel check after that little bit of an incursion there with engine 2 being accidentally shut down in flight. But we're all good. That quick reactions. Just looked up and guessed. We need a relight, we need the engine back on again. Let's try again. Speed's good again. That's looking quite nice. Shall we think about the arrival? So beam's now active. It's going to re-intercept the inbound 321. And on the charts then, this is our little path up to Honolulu. So we're kind of about halfway now, look. Just over the halfway point. Let's think about our arrivals into Belfast Aldergrove. This is going to be tough actually. I'm not sure what to expect in relation to this. Crosswind of 13 knots, headwind of 3 for Belfast Aldergrove. Going to be interesting. Runway 25. 9 approaches are available. We're going to go for ILS. Bell 1. Bell 1 and Bell 2 for a difference, by the way, folks, equates to whether or not you are a Category D or Category B aircraft. So, Category A and B, we use Bell 2, and that's that really narrow turn there at the end. But we're a Category C aircraft, I think, so we're going to change to Bell 1, but it also gives us a little bit more width in the turn for arriving on the ILS fairly nicely. And that's what it's going to look like. So we're going to head over the Isle of Man, over towards the Belfast VOR 117.2. From VFS, we're going to head outbound Category C and D, 053 degrees, out to 9.4 DME. And then we're going to turn right on ourselves to turn back towards the airfield, inbound course 247 degrees for the ILS, 109.9 for the frequency, and that course inbound is 247 as we mentioned. The Morse code, if we want to tune it and turn it up, we should hear ... dit dot, and we're going to be 247 degrees, establishing on the ILS from 2,500 feet. 6.8 DME for the glide slope in. Minimums, we're going to set, what have we got, rad out, 200 is already set, so we'll leave that as it is. And airport elevation, 268 feet. Weather at the moment, if we look at the charts, we can go to information and weather on Navigraph. Top left, you've got that kind of list function, and we've got, as of 12:50 Zulu, winds 170 degrees at 13 knots, variable between 140 and 200 degrees. All the nines, few clouds 1,800, unknown cloud type, broken 3,400, towering cumulonimbus reported 19 degrees Celsius, dew point 15, QNH 1009. My goodness, the weather's really bad in Belfast, isn't it? That's going to be interesting. Here's a question. When do the runways 17 and 0 and 25 get used? That's a question that I'm interested to know. Taxi, airport briefing, arrivals, let's see. They used to descent approach. Flying aircraft 2507 is the main runway really. 3517 not so much. Tax procedures. for the 3-5 turn in circle. If we have to go for a missed approach, by the way, folks, then we're going to go runway heading all the way out to 3,000 feet. At 2,500 feet, we're going to commence a right turn back to the VOR at Belfast and then fly manual hold, which has got an inbound of 052, left turn outbound 232. Yamato says the Osprey that took off from Amsterdam is already approaching Belfast Airport. That's some good going. Alternatively, if it goes a bit choppy, we could do 1-7. I am very tempted, actually, to be honest, with the weather. Just so that we have a nice headwind. BFS. What are they doing in real life? Let's have a little look. No, they're actually using runway 25 in real life still. Fair enough. So we've set 200. That's there. We can test it if we want to. Wallasey's coming up in 20 miles. So Wallasey 1141. Next frequency, Isle of Man 112. Decimal 2. So we're going to fly outbound Wallasey 307 degrees, where we'll flick it over to nav 1 and re-engage beam mode. I feel like I'm starting to allow my brain to keep up with what this aeroplane wants and needs me to do. Fuel burn's pretty high, but we are over the halfway point now. We departed with 3, so we should have enough, at least for this journey. There's a Simbrief profile, as we mentioned earlier on, still being developed, still being tweaked by the folks, the team at JustFlight. What else have we got here? So we've got landing pressure. I'm going to leave that for now. Wojtek asking in the live chat about different variants. So with this you get the Fokker F28 1000, the 2000, the 3000 and the 4000. The 4000 is the one that we are in at the moment with the slightly larger wings, stretch fuselage and the 2 emergency exits. The F70 and the F100 that Wojtek's mentioning there, they're going to be different products entirely from the team at JustFlight. So that's going to be something that we're going to look forward to again in the future furthermore, but it's not going, they're not going to be included with this. Not really sure what to expect in relation to flying the ILS approaches, to be honest. Right, we're going to go to heading modes. Nav 1, 307, VOR lock and beam. On 365 out 307. 141, Wallasey out 3. Let's just make the turn. We're in heading mode. Little refresh there. Bobby Fuzzy, welcome. Hope you're well. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys are all not minding my absolute rust today. Just monitoring this. And in the turn, yeah, Ian, good evening. We've got dirty contrails, really nice. AK textures, incredible sounds. The sounds are stunning. I'm sure you guys will agree as well. It just really, really, really topped this off. It's quite a spectacular package, and here we've got the dirty contrails zipping off into the distance there. It's a very special aeroplane, this, isn't it? Looks like beam is active now because we've got a left turn going on, so let's have a little look. Beam is on. Just keeping an eye on it. Ian says just go ahead and take my money. What we will do, for those of us who fly with Osprey Airways, we're going to try and get a retro livery for this painted, and we'll add it to our Osprey Airways fleet as well. Massive, massive thank you to everybody who's hit the like button so far. 167 likes. Really appreciate every single one of those. Thank you so much, folks. 93 miles now to the, oh no, in fact 1102, so we've got nav 1 active. We need to go 112 decimal 2. Let's tune that. It's going to pick it up. There it is, it's gone active, and then we're going to go outbound from there 307 degrees. So not really much, in fact barely a turn at all, in fact, to be honest. Keep the heading bugger lines just in case we need to use that for any reason, and we're just using VORs again. As a reminder, if you're just tuning in, if you wanted to use the GPS, you can load your route in via SimBrief into the MSFS world map, and you can use the GPS function there. All you need to do is click CDI, and it will change VLOC to GPS. And then on here, you'll see GPS, pop VOR lock mode on here, and turn beam on, and it will then follow the GPS route on nav 1. Fly Martino, hello, saying, man, JustFlight is too good at Microsoft Flight Simulator. I wish I was interested in the BAE 146 or the Fokker. I'm so envious. I hope other developers raise their quality standards to similar levels. Cyclone saying, thank you, JustFlight, for what you do. Nicely done from Bobby Fuzzy. Can you get rid of the GPS? You can. It's optional. So we can go into aircraft, and you can hide the cabin if you want. You can add or remove cockpit pilots, you can add or remove the hush kit, and then the GPS navigation option there, by unticking that, it will hide your GPS unit. And you can toggle things like the HF aerials on, logo lights, flip chart options, and state saving as well. Really cool. Lots of different little functions to help you get stuck into it. OFP is included, so you can pull your SimBrief flight plan in here. We can look at our METARs into our destination and our alternate at Manchester, but we don't think we've got enough fuel for that one. Charts. So we can load them up with Navigraph, save them, pin them as required. We've got map, top of descent calculators, and a few other bits. So there's the Isle of Man, which means just after that, Belfast. So we're going to go 307. Yeah, we'll keep working with this. That'll do. He reckons our top of descent is just after the Isle of Man VOR. We want to achieve at the Belfast VOR 4,000 feet. No auto thrust, so we're going to have to handle all the speed and everything else by ourselves. And what I'm going to do is just going to dig into the massive operating manual again. What were we on earlier? 189. Their automatic air conditioning systems, pressurization systems, flight control checks, speed brakes, lift dumpers. Here where we got here? Let's have a look. Fuel system information. We're going through cloud as we go towards the towering cumulus clouds and things like that. We might need to put in some of the icing functions. Cracked windshield warning. Look at that. Epic. ILS approach procedures. An example of a typical ILS Cat 1 procedure: call approach check. When entering downwind, reduce speed to 200 knots or below. select flap 25. The use of speed brake is preferable over reducing engine RPM below 80% HP RPM. Interesting. Select takeoff position to the TTC switches. When speeds at 200 knots or below, select approximately 85 HP RPM, select flap 25. Speed will reduce to approximately 150 knots. As we extend the flaps, we're going to also, we're going to increase the lift on the wings, but the adverse effect of that is then also increasing the amount of drag on the wings too. When approaching the glide slope, we're going to gradual transition to the final approach configuration. At 2 dots below glide slope, select clear down. Interception of the glide slope, select flap 42. Stabilise on the approach, set power on the glide slope. V thrust plus 10, 25 plus 10 for a single engine. Whew. Then final checks, V2 plus 10. In gusty conditions, approach speed may be increased by approximately 10 knots. That's what we're going to do today. So on the right, that little landing placard that's updating down here, flaps 42, 142. I'm actually going to add 10 here to the VREF, so 152 knots for the approach speed because of those gusts. Really, really important. That's going to help us manage everything safely. 20 miles to Isle of Man. At 100 feet, reduce power to cross the threshold at VTHR and fully extend the speed brake. Retard the throttles and flare to a slightly nose high attitude. After main wheel touchdown, the lift dampers, if armed, and throttles at idle will automatically extend and the aircraft will sit down on the runway. During lift damper extension, there is a tendency for the nose to pitch down, which can easily be controlled with back pressure on the control column to help lower the nose wheel gently. Go around procedure. Disengage autopilot, set full power, rotate to climb attitude, it's about 10 degrees, nose up and maintain VTHR plus 10. Disregard flight director indication if used for initial approach. Select flap 25, retract gear, monitor heading. And then we'll work to give it another go. A lot to think about there. Cruise descent. So for a reduction to climb thrust, throttles in D10 position approximately 96%. It's not far actually where we're at. We're starting an engine in flight. We did it! We actually did that as well. How exciting. With a starter assisted relight. Start an engine in flight, failure to relight. We don't need to worry about those. Checklists. So here's all of those big checklists that we spoke about on the ground. We're going to go all the way down to descent, fasten seatbelt signs on, pressurization set, TTC. We'll work through that in a moment as we are now starting to close in. Runway 25 has a 3-knot headwind now. Michael says hello, looking forward to the aircraft. Pete Conrad saying hoping the JustFlight F28 and 100 also don't take too long. Ian loves the 146 and this looks like another great addition. 7.3 Isle of Man. Heading mode. And we want nav 2. 112.0 out 307 towards Belfast. Belfast is going to be 1172. From there it's going to be 053, so we're going to set that. Nav 2, VOR lock beam. What are we on? 112.1 Isle of Man, Belfast 1172. So we want to be away from the VOR 307. And we'll just get back on track here a little bit more. So, top of descent time now. Yeah, the JustFlight manuals are really good quality. secretly nervous. Seatbelt signs. What have we got here? Are now on. You need to return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts securely. Pressurization set. We want 300. That'll do. Pressure set. Altitude target 4,000. Keeping an eye on the beam here. Just stop it chasing a little bit there. And then we're going to go drop of the thrust, TCT to takeoff, and we want to bring the speed bug down a little bit there. We're going to go IAS mode active. Nose comes down, and we begin our descent to Belfast. Osprey 85 Bravo on the blocks. Bernie, nice job. Henrik says, looks and sounds great. I hope the VC10 will be developed for Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. It's got a soft spot for the classics. There is something quite special about them, isn't there? Let's face it. The sounds particularly, bear in mind this is an old aeroplane. They've done a remarkably good job with the sounds. We'll give the approach 2.5 a go. If we really struggle, we'll go around, we'll configure for an approach to runway 17 to get that nice juicy headwind. Let's keep the heading bug in line. Bernie says the current wind's 170 at 13. I think it's in limits, isn't it, still? MPS Gaming says, I've just landed at runway 25. It was very difficult. I'm not sure the ILS works 100%. Oh, God. Oh, that's not what we want to hear. Roderick, welcome, buddy. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Great to have you on board with us today. That's the seats. Okay, let's see. That's all good. There's a lot of crosswind. That's on normal. Gonna let that power come down a little bit more to 80%. Maybe a little bit lower. For the first time, not quite see it, can we? Let's see, hold on. We'll get that little bit of spoiler cracked out there, just to help with our rate of descent. Mike's in, how's the new aircraft? Really good. Really, really good. Something quite spectacular with what they've managed to do here with this. Trim's just working away nice and slowly there. Fuel tanks have got decent quantity in them. We're going to go to heading mode. for now, because we've got Belfast 1172, and then we've got to think about the ILS. So I'm going to change this to 1172 053. And then we need to tune the ILS frequency in, which is 109.9. Set course 247. Set. Nav 2's active at the moment, that's fine, we'll leave that active. We're going to bring the range ring in a little bit there. One, 2, 2, 8. Quick check of V-Pilot actually, because I don't know, we haven't checked. That's good. Looks like we haven't got any ATC online. Probably a good thing. Oh dear. Landing data is checked, bugs set. 247. Do a little ILS test. Right 1 degree. There's a lot of weather now. Beautiful clear skies out of Amsterdam, across most of the UK as well. Now into Northern Ireland. We've got a little bit of work to do with an absolute whopper of a crosswind, variable weather, towering cumulus. And we'll follow the manual and we'll use speed brake to help reduce our speeds. Actually way too high. That's warning about gear down, power setting too low. So top of descent was a little bit wrong for me. .4,000 foot per minute. We literally can't descend any quicker, any faster at the moment. So what we might have to do at Belfast, because that is now coming up, is fly a little bit of holding or vector ourselves a little bit. Belfast traffic, City 415, Fokker F28 over the field, Belfast VOR. Currently flight level 130. Working to descend for 4,000 feet inbound for the ILS procedural runway 25 approach. We'll report entering the procedure, Belfast traffic. I'm actually going to vector north for a little bit. We'll use this little bit of weather here. So heading mode's active. Over the VOR. Oops. Two, 3, 2.
Belfast traffic, Super 5280, we'll start a manual hunt and then after you've landed, which is fortunate to land runway 17, Belfast traffic.
Start the clock. We'll just fly a manual hold for a bit as we lose altitude. Transition altitude is going to be flight level 70. Still work to do. All the lights. And left, 052. Reset the clock. Just using a little bit of pitch mode now with the autopilot to decelerate the aeroplane to a more reasonable rate and speed. See where it sends the speed. Okay, 4,000. Approach checklist, no smoking lights, switches on, altimeters set. Let's set that now, I've forgotten, my god. 1009, we're lower than we are. There we are. Altitude hold mode is now active, that's good for speed management, that's going to help us. And we're going to be inbound Belfast VOR once again. Anti-ice check, we don't need it at the moment actually. And if that light comes on there, we'll turn it on. Landing light switches extended and on, landing gear warning switch normal. And we've briefed for the approach as well, so we know roughly what we're going to do. Going to go left direct towards Belfast, 1172. VOR lock, nav 2, beam. 4,000 and holding. Speed doesn't really want to come down. Use a little bit of speed brake again. Perhaps going for runway 17. And into the cloud. Look at that. You have to watch this like an absolute hawk now. Belfast traffic, City 415 is over Belfast VOR, outbound 053 track for the ILS 25. QNH 1009er will report turning final Belfast traffic. .053 down to 2,500, wasn't it? 25 pitch mode. Little bit of forward pitch. Watching the vertical speed needle. About 800 foot per minute should do us nicely. Here we go. We're going to change to IAG 9.4, dear me. Have 109 and 9er. 247. Nav 1 is active. 1 to go. Silence the horn. Check. Little adjustment to the right. Just to help with our track. So I've got the charts ready. Approach checks. What have we got here? Lift dampers. Arm. Where's my flap extension speeds? Can't remember. Sure, we'll be fine. 9 miles, turning right. Massive crosswind actually now, it's blowing us wide from the airfield. So we're going to turn in. 2500 height mode now active. Nav mode is on.
Flaps 11.
2 stages of flaps, flaps 11 for the call. Here we go. There is a landing rate monitor set here, folks. Speed, speed. Heading mode. Goes to the VOR lock. .8. 2500. Weirdly nervous about this, I don't know why. 2475. 3217. Beam. Silence the horn. Oh. There we go. Glides arms. Glide slope auto. It mentioned alt hold, didn't it? But I'm going to leave it at the minute for now. Belfast traffic city 415 is inbound ILS 256 miles. Oh, stomach is in my mouth. Glide slopes alive. Flaps 18. So really good fun this. It's tough. It is tough. 119. Wow, landing flap 22, 119.
Flaps 25.
Set. Look at that crosswind, my god. The runway's over there. Little bit of power. There's the runway. Whoa. I'll do this really quickly. Look at that, heading versus track. I don't do things by halves. Those of you who watch all the time know that. I have absolutely no idea what to expect now. So, wish me luck. Lift dumpers ready, armed, green. T-top, that's on takeoff, that's all set. Oh. Final landing gear down, 3 green. Skid control, too late for me to check that now, 'cause it's coming on us real quick. Speed's coming away a little bit, let's drop the power. Brake pressures, lift dumpers, flaps set all the way down onto flap 45. Indications in place as well. Lots of turbulence, wow. We're actually pointing towards the wind farm. Okay, shall we do it? Autopilot off. My controls, my aeroplane. Aldergrove traffic, city 415 short final. It's a weather report for anyone inbound, significant gusts on short final. Crikey. Trying to draw a line all the way through the aeroplane here. Extend that centre line through the aircraft.
100 feet to minimum.
Whoa!
Minimums.
This is really good.
50, 40, 30.
Holding the flare.
20.
Oh my goodness.
Speed. 10. Speed.
Woo! Oh my god. Okay, that's crosswind's a bit too much for me, I think. Ah! We need lots of gin. I reckon that was a wing strike. Okay. A little bit of poo come out there. I think I got to a full right rudder. Look at that. Spicy indeed. Oh yeah, we can watch my World's Terrible Landing, absolutely.
Belfast traffic, speedbird 5280 after the passing traffic line. Into turning final, runway 1017. Belfast traffic.
Aldergrove traffic, city 415 is backtrack 17 off on Charlie to the gate. Ian, even the plane is prolapsed. Hey, the landing rate was okay though. That wind though, my goodness, how much were we crabbing? Woo. So good. That is, by the way, my first ever landing with this aeroplane. I didn't think it was too bad. That wind was insane. Get flaps up. Get rid of the speed brake. They literally rolled the trucks. Right, where are we? What we'll do is I'll pause it here. I'm just going to disconnect from VATSIM so I don't get in the way of everyone else. We'll replay that landing. 5 miles, so I reckon we can do this real quick. Let's see. So, let's go. Let's reset that to 5. Stop the recording. Now we're using Sky Dolly for the replay, so we might not get a perfect like sort of flap extension and everything else. You can see the amount of fight that I'm having to kind of control the aeroplane here. And then those gusts keeping us in the air. Oh my goodness, getting completely blown off the runway there. Oh, there's the wing strike. Dirty. That's absolutely shocking. Let's see it from which side was facing the airport? It's this one, wasn't it? Not bad for the first ever landing though. I'll take it. Something totally different and unique to anything we've experienced in the Sims so far. And it's a small nippy jet with a low wing. It's going to be sporty. See, the passengers still thought we were on the runway. Just at that bit the poo came out. We even heard the wing strike. They've even put sounds in it. Oh, the shame. Oh dear. Good fun. Lovely. Let's replay that to get all the way back across. We will reconnect to VATSIM very briefly here.
Runway 17, Belfast traffic.
Is someone on final 117? Oh, it's someone actually landing on 17. We should have done that, to be fair. The wind at the moment, let's find out for you. It's a crosswind of 15 knots at the minute. Winds 170 at 15, variable 130 to 190. No report of any gusts though. After landing checks, APU can come on, so same principle as before, main to on, wait 10 seconds. And then APU start. Speed brakes in, lift dumpers in, flaps up. Airfall anti-icing switches off, engine anti-icing switches off or on. Pitot vane heating off, windshield heating off or low. Gen 3 switch can come on. Dink, there it is. APU air can come on. Radar transponder, let's set that, so that can come onto standby. Alt off. Yaw damping switch off. Following the checklists here. Flight control locks can come on for the gust lock. Engine fire warning test. We don't need to do that. Oh dear. And then after parking checks.
Belfast traffic, Speedbird 5280.
Stands do we have?
Short final, runway 17. Belfast traffic.
24 could be a nice one actually with a walk-in stand. In fact, what else have we got over front?
Belfast traffic, Kelvin 6, Papa Lima 2512 miles.
Just going to work out parking here, folks. Thankfully I didn't log that on New Sky. It stands 16 free. I think it might be next to that Osprey. Actually, it's going to be gate 18, isn't it, I think? Oh no, 16 is good. Should we get back on the taxiway lines? Be a good pilot. Don't let me forget as well, I've got to do the cabin boarding music stuff as well with that custom sound profile. By the way, look at that. The window heating elements. How stunning. Taxi lights off, strobes are off. My bad.
Belfast traffic, speedbird 5280, vacating left off of runway 17. Belfast traffic.
So 16. How are we doing? Just want to make sure we've got one on final there. Speedbird's vacated. I don't know where it's vacated, all the way down the bottom I think. Let's park up.
Aldergrove traffic, EV 41 Delta Kilo, Pushback gun 14.
There's the VDGS. It's right on the roof. Right on the line as well. 11 meters, 10 minutes. It's actually read us as a F28 as well. Look at that. How cool. Three, 2, 1. Stop. Park brake set. And then after parking, park brake on, HP fuel valves onto shut off. 1 and 2, fasten seatbelt signs off, air conditioning mains switches all off. That's that one, isn't it? That one there on, I think they stay on for the APU.
Traffic 6 Papa Lima ILS 2515.
Generators 1-4, off and reset, off and reset. Thrust levers, fuel off. Booster pump switches off. Off. Anti-collision lights off. And tech log complete. I don't think we'll do that one. Let's watch this next landing and we'll compare. I'll position it right on the centre line for this crosswind. There's the windsock, look. That's what we had to compete with. A lot of work. Tough. So what we're going to do now, just watch this landing for a moment, and then we're going to disembark using that test GSX profile. Jeez, look at that. Incredible. See, he's got his work cut out as well. Carl, very exciting. Good luck with the VATSIM quest. Yamato says, I've never regretted to buy a full pack of MSFS when it came out. Always get astounded by the quality of the cloud textures and the details. Absolutely. When you then pair it with aircraft add-ons that are immensely good fun and incredibly tricky, like that F28 that we've just been enjoying today, it makes it difficult, but my goodness, what a load of fun. See, even he's in a 737 and even that was a fight for him. So I'm proud. I think I'm going to take that as a good first ever landing. And look at it sitting remarkably proud there at Belfast. What a route this is for the aeroplane. Like the perfect training route. Should we listen to those noises? So in the flight deck it's utterly silent. Now if we turn this on, this custom sound pack that we mentioned earlier on. I'll just turn the speakers up. Can you hear it? So this will play various different announcements. Seatbelt signs, the cabin, everything will look animated via the PA system here. We can reset the various things like the pilot call that we did earlier on. Yeah, it is quite faint, but we've set it to be faint. Turn it right up, look, there we go. Turn it right up for you guys. You control the music here. So you can turn it down. And then back up. And it will play the various different songs that you have set in the .wav file that you put in. so that you can kind of just put whatever your favourite tunes are into the cabin PA system, which is just insane. Really, really cool. You don't have to turn it down. I've got it on set to like minus 23 decibels so that it's listening kind of as if it's coming out through the speakers of the aeroplane itself. A little bit muffled, a little bit quiet, but you can whack it up as loud as you want, really. It's your own experience in the sim. It'll play through everything and then continue to loop it. When you're happy and you don't want to listen to it anymore, you can just turn it off. Off it goes. I'm going to drop this back down to, where was it, 16.9 I think it was. 16.5 will do. We'll dive back into the flight deck. Aircraft, chocks, ground power. We'll wait for it to turn up. It's got its own custom ground power unit, folks. It's down there somewhere. There it is. Little Bertolli petrol generator. And you can hear that engine kicking away. When it's ready, your external power bus becomes ready as well. So we can turn it on, everything flicks across then to your external power system. Pop the no smoking signs off as well. This is the 70s. And then we will open, we won't do jetty, sorry. We'll open all the doors, why not, except for the port service. It does say Maastricht on the side, yes. Everybody's going to run for their lives. JSX launcher, e-boarding. Yeah, a little Maastricht on the side of it there. And it's going to work now with this custom GSX profile, which is still in testing, folks, to kind of disembark all the passengers and things. How cool is that? I mean, I can only kind of apologise for the shocking landing at the end. I could have gone around, but I'm a little bit worried as well on fuel quantity. How much did we land with actually? Let's find out. Oh, still plenty. We could have gone around. And then we could have done 1.7, but it's all good. Look at that. What presence this has. Especially with those clouds in the background. I'm surprised they're not coming out and then kissing the ground. By the way, folks, over the next couple of hours, in about 2 hours from now, there are 4 episodes going live on the channel covering the Boeing 787 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Both the Kuro 787 V2 and the 787-10. Pretty much the principles are the same for both aircraft. I'm going to explore them and show you guys how to fly them, how to work them in a tutorial series. First 4 episodes are going to go live, one after the next from 5 o'clock UK time all the way through to 6 o'clock. The idea there being with the timings that as you complete each tutorial, the next one has then gone live ready for you to enjoy. Oh, that's pretty cool, look at that. Welcome to Belfast. What a screenshot. Very cool. All walking into the arrivals gate. So this is releasing on Wednesday. Let's put some bopping tunes back on, shall we? There we go. This is going to release on Wednesday on the JustFlight website, justflight.com. The Fokker F28 Fellowship for Microsoft Flight Simulator. A really, really good bit of fun. Incredibly challenging as well, which makes it very immersive too. Lots to manage, lots to consider, lots to think about and plan for. But all round, an incredible package once again from the folks at JustFlight, with some spectacular sounds, systems and quirks all available as well. So we've just done that flight, Amsterdam across to Belfast Aldergrove. 3 hours 10 minutes, not bad. We spent an hour on the ground at Amsterdam exploring various features as well, don't forget. And look at that. What do you guys think? Hopefully you found it really useful as a live preview stream. Really enjoyable as well, all the same. and hopefully we've managed to answer and cover a lot of your questions throughout your time on the stream. I'm going to leave you guys with the scene for disembarkation. Massive thank you to JustFlight as well, tuning in today and helping answering a lot of questions during the stream. And keep your eye on the website for Wednesday. It's going to be releasing for just over 50 quid, I think it was, wasn't it? Somebody mentioned in the live chat earlier on. I should have wrote it down, but I've completely forgotten again. Post landing. I think my brain rattled around a little bit after touchdown. Where is it? Let's find it. £52.49, 64 euros 95 cents, or $69.99. So yeah, there you go. Releasing on Wednesday, the next brand new aeroplane. A nod to historic aviation as well for MSFS. Massive thank you to everybody who's tuned in today, wherever you are in the world, whether you've stayed up or got up early. Really appreciate it. 208 likes. Massive thank you to you guys. And C2 Alpha for your tip too. Keep an eye on the channel tomorrow. In addition to those 4 Whopper episodes that we've got for the 787 coming out. Oh, it's an Embraer. We've got a live stream. Wizz Air Fenix A320 from the new Drzecki designed Gdansk scenery all the way up to Alessand Vigra in a very exciting live stream there too. So in the meantime, as always, enjoy the rest of your evening wherever you are in the world. Certainly if you're in the UK, around the south of the UK at the moment. Beautiful weather. Go and enjoy a barbecue. And I look forward to finding out where you're going to be flying this from Wednesday when it does release. And what all your thoughts are too. Keep your eye out for that Osprey Airways livery. But in the meantime, as always, big thanks for checking in, tuning in and flying along. And I'll see you very soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.